Then over at first, it is Mike Rabidan. First pitch is put in play over to the shortstop, Jonathan Gomez. One pitch, one out from Casey Uper. Let's run you through the defense now for Orleans. It's Ryan McDougal behind the dish, Tyler Harmony over at third, Jonathan Gomez at short, Adam Magcock in his first game as a Firebird at second. Then it's Tom Cadiz at first. Left to right in the outfield, Tyler Myatt, Rowan Kelly, and Bub Terrell as the two-hole hitter Jason Wax steps in against Casey Uper. Lefty on lefty, first pitch. Misses for ball one.
And for Foster Apple, he did swing at the first pitch, so we were kind of curious how they would react, how they would respond, what adjustments would they make. But today, continuing to try and attack early in counts.
0-1, or the 1-0, high and away for ball two. And yesterday, it was just a struggle offensively. The starter for Harwich, Jason Krieger, threw 6 innings of 2-hit ball with no runs. Wareham really struggled at the plate. 2-0 pitch put in play over to the left side. That ball is down. It's a one-out single for Jason Wax. Does a nice job of shooting the ball into left field. And now an early base runner for Wareham to work with.
Yeah, opposite side. Wax gets a hold of it, sees a couple of pitches, gets ahead in the count. Really nice job from Jason Wax. It's a tough matchup against Uper, but a good piece of hitting, and now the Gatemen have a one-out base runner.
Wareham did not have a hit through the first 4 innings of yesterday's ball game. Were retired in order in every single inning by Krieger. First pitch here to Cohen Nicolai, his first plate appearance in a couple of days' time, is a ball high and away.
And it was a similar story against Orleans the first time these two teams met. Firebirds got through the first 4 innings without allowing a hit, so good for Wax to get that early knock.
Here's the 1-0. Locates the zone. That's a strike. A nice job of using the curveball there from Casey Uper. Makes it 1-1. Wax over there at first. Not a huge stolen base threat, but he's 3 for 3 this season. A little bit tougher on the lefty Uper. Comes set, and we'll check over at first base on Wax. Ryan McDougal behind the plate. Not the best arm in the entire world. 0 for 7 on the summer on stolen base attempts.
Yeah, and Wax can definitely swipe a bag. We'll see how aggressive. Wareham as a team hasn't been super aggressive. Wax, though, has.
1-1. Fastball paints the outside corner for strike 2. Casey Uper, after dealing a ball to start off this at-bat, has worked back against Cohen Nicolai, and the count's 1-2. Nicolai 0 for 4 against Chatham a couple of days ago. Currently in the midst of an 0 for 7 spell. Trying to break that. Wax going over to second, and going over to first on the play was Uper for the pickoff. The toss over to first from Cadiz. On to second, gets Wax in plenty of time, and he is picked off. Some sloppy baseball there. Wax thought he had it, and the lefty Uper lifted the leg and threw over to first.
Wareham steals it at a league low 15 times. They've successfully stolen a base this season. That's just the 3rd time, though, they've been caught stealing, just out a ton of a sample size.
So Uper helps himself. The 1-2 is cut on and missed from Cohen Nicolai. So after letting up the one-out single to Jason Wax, Uper works around it, picks off Wax, strikes out Nicolai. With Orleans coming to bat in the bottom half of the first, no score here from Eldridge Park on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Casey Uper faces the minimum in that top half of the first, puts a 0 on the board for Orleans as we head to the bottom half. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky here at Eldridge Park. Peyton Lee toes the slab for Wareham, looking to do what Uper did in the first.
Yes, he is, making his second start, fourth appearance of the summer. It's a four-pitch mix for the 6'5", 205-pound righty out of Arkansas. Slider, fastball, sinker, and a change. It's the slider that's been really good for Peyton Lee. Throws it about 40% of the time, and it's really done some damage. A 9 flat ERA, an 0-2 record. But like I said, Dan, making just his second start against an Orleans offense that ranks 9th in the Cape League in runs per game, only in front of the Gatemen.
They have scored first in 8 straight games. The leadoff man, Rowan Kelly, steps in, batting from the left side against the righty Lee. He's ready, deals his first pitch. That's a strike at the bottom of the zone. Dom Cadiz bats second. Then it's Tyler Myatt, the left fielder. Nate Savoy as the DH. Then it's Bub Terrell, Tyler Harmony, Adam Magpock, Jonathan Gomez, and Ryan McDougall for Orleans, and Kelly Nicholson. The 0-1 from Lee in there for strike 2. Lee's looks sharp through 2 pitches.
When it comes to Lee's command, it was certainly better when you look at his start versus his 2 relief appearances. 4 walks across 4 innings in that first start.
0-2. Smacked over to the shortstop, DeGiorgio. Fields on the backhand, throws over to first. In time. A long play across the diamond for DeGiorgio, but he makes it. There's one down, and speaking of the defense, let's run you through it. Cohen Nicolai behind the plate, making his first start at catcher in 5 games' time. Then it's Lincoln Garcia at third. Henry DeGiorgio at short. Cade Elam over at second after he was at third yesterday. Tony Lira at first. Left to right in the outfield, it is Foster Apple, Jason Wax, Dylan Dubovic in right, and the umpires have conferenced together to talk about this most recent play.
That's a tough one to overturn. Henry DeGiorgio did field it on 1 hop and then made a strong throw. They'll keep the call.
Jeff Merzel, the crew chief, being the one leading the charge, was talking things over with John Lamatina, the first base umpire tonight. It'll be the 2-hole hitter, Dom Cadiz, after the ground out, over to DeGiorgio to start the game offensively for the Firebirds. First pitch, smacked into right field, tailing foul, and it will drop foul down that right field line for strike 1. Cadiz, the big 6'2", 200 rising sophomore at UCLA, had a 2-run home run in the top half of the first against Wareham the last time these two sides played, which was a 6-2 win for Orleans in 6.5 innings as the game was called in the bottom half of the 7th due to rain. So Wareham looking to get its get back here on the road. The 0-1 bounced in the dirt for ball 1. Cadiz 0 for 3 yesterday against Bourne, did bat in the 2-hole. Had a walk and a strikeout, but so far this season has been one of the Firebirds' best, batting .294 through 14 games. The 0-1 is cut on and missed for strike 2. So now a chance for Peyton Lee to get back-to-back outs here in the bottom half of the first.
Getting ahead in counts, very big for Peyton Lee, getting him the chance to use that slider, trying to induce a chase.
Lee deals. Pitch is bounced to the third base side, foul. So the count at 1-2. Here to the first baseman, Dom Cadiz. Him and Tyler Myatt, 2 guys that have played every single game for the Firebirds. Myatt in left tonight, waits on deck. Lee puts the glove to the face, delivers the 1-2. Ground ball over to second. Elam fields on a hop, throws to first in plenty of time. Back-to-back ground outs forced by Peyton Lee here in the bottom half of the first, and there's 2 outs.
And the middle of the infield has been shaky for Wareham this season, but it's a tough grass to field on here at Eldridge Park, and Henry DeGiorgio and Katie Lum have done very, very well at reading the hops, making sure to stay in front of it. That last one took Elam down to a knee, but now 2 away.
Tyler Myatt, the left fielder, batting from the left-handed side as Lee deals the first pitch on the outside part for ball 1. Myatt had a successful evening yesterday against Bourne, went 3 for 4, and had a successful evening against Wareham the last time these two sides played, batting 4 for 4. Takes the 1-0 upstairs for strike 1. Myatt, a guy that batted leadoff against Wareham last time, tonight in the 3rd position after batting 5th yesterday against Bourne. Here's the 1-1. Poke to the left side, out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Peyton Lee to work with as he's looking to match Casey Uper's 1-2-3 in the top half. Lee readies at the belt, stares in, gets the sign, and comes home. Pitch is grounded to the right side and just to the right half of the first base bag. That one called a foul. That was tight. John Lamatina had the best view of it. He calls foul.
Yeah, you were right on the money there, Dan. It was over the bag, but just to the right. Could have easily been extra bases for Tyler Myatt. Wareham escapes. Now Peyton Lee trying to work around Myatt a little bit more.
And Myatt awfully skilled. 16 hits, 2nd most in the Cape League. Here's the pitch once again. Misses upstairs, falls out of the glove of Nikolai. 2 balls and 2 strikes. First time that Nikolai is back there in 5 games' time. Last started behind the dish against YD in what was a loss for Wareham. Lee readies, delivers the 2-2. And Myatt puts it out of play once again on the 3rd base side, foul. These two teams bottom of their respective divisions. Wareham 3-11, 6 points in the West. Orleans 4-10 with 8 points. Definitely a big game between the two sides. Wareham trailing that last playoff spot by 2 games. Orleans by 3.5. As you hear the fire trucks behind us, 2-2 delivered to Myatt. He grounds it off of his foot. And we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Orleans Fire and Rescue looking to go put out a fire, and Peyton Lee looking to stop the start of one even happening against the Firebirds here at a 2-2 count.
Certainly adds to a little bit of the atmosphere of the ballpark, no doubt, right here. Road's about 10 feet behind us.
2-2 pitch from Lee. Bounced in the dirt. Gets a little bit away from Nikolai, and the count goes full.
And it's kind of interesting because 5 years ago in that situation, both the pitchers and the hitters could wait a second and regroup and wait for the truck to pass by. But with the pitch clock, that's not an option. Peyton Lee had to go, but two battled.
Fires the payoff. Grounded weakly over to first. Lira fields it. He'll take it to the bag himself, and that is out number 3. A 1-2-3 bottom half of the first for Peyton Lee. All outs on the infield. We head to the second here at Eldridge Park with no score on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Half of the second here at Eldridge Park. No score between Wareham and Orleans. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. Diamond side along the third base line next to the Wareham dugout as Tony Lira is set to start things off. 4-5-6, for Wareham. Here in the top half, still going against Uper. First pitch from him is in there for strike one. Nice breaking ball. In that top half of the first, Jason Wax hit a one-out single before he was picked off, and then Cohen and Clive struck out to end things. Uper looking to attack against Lira, and a no-ball, one-strike count. Starts the windup and comes home. Lira goes fishing in the dirt for strike two.
Couple of early swings from Tony Lira. We saw Foster Apple lead off the top of the first, swing at the first pitch. Wax got ahead in the count, and when he was up 2-0, pulled it, went to the left side. Kind of interesting to see if anyone tries to replicate it. First pitch strikes, everyone knows, are big regardless, but with Casey Uper especially, much better when he deals that first pitch strike as opposed to getting behind in counts. And that was on full display in the first inning. Outside of the at-bat with Wax, he was stellar. Got a line out from Apple and struck out Nikolai.
0-2 on Lira, who broke an 0-for-18 spell yesterday. Looking to build on that here at Eldridge Park. Here's the pitch. Checks his swing. He does go around for strike three. Back-to-back Ks for Casey Uper, and there's one down here in the second.
Not a great swing from Lira, but when you're in a position like that, 0-2, and you're forced to have to protect, kind of expect it. Certainly want to put a better swing on it, though. I think in a different circumstance, he would have been fine taking.
Levi Clark at the plate. He's the designated hitter tonight, was the catcher yesterday against Harwich. Uper ready, delivers. First pitch is put over to shortstop. Gomez fields it, throws across the diamond in time. Two quick outs here for Casey Uper in the top half of the second. And Adam, this is very similar to how yesterday started for Wareham.
Yes, it is. And the one difference was Jason Wax. He saw a couple of pitches. Maybe they were easier takes and pitches to lay off of, but got ahead in the count. But Clark liked that first offering. Tried to pull it in between the hole, but a nice play by Gomez.
Third baseman Lincoln Garcia at the plate. Uperetti deals the first pitch outside for ball one. Garcia in the starting lineup for the first time in 2 games' time. Did not play against Chatham and did not play yesterday against Harwich. 1-0 offering, breaks in, finds the zone. A nice off-speed pitch from Uper makes the count 1-1. Garcia currently in the midst of an 0-for-5 slump. 1-1 is cut on into the glove of McDougal, and it's quickly 1-2 on Garcia. And those 5 last plate appearances have all been strikeouts for Lincoln Garcia. Looking to avoid that here in this count. 1-2. Chopped over to short, a bouncer. Gomez fields, throws over to first in time. A 1-2-3, top half of the second here in Orleans. Still no score between the Firebirds and the Gatemen here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Bottom half of the second here in Orleans. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. No score between the Firebirds and the Gatemen after 9 outs of play. 4-5-6 for Orleans here in the bottom half, starting with Nate Savoy, the DH, still going against Peyton Lee, the starter for Wareham. Righty on righty. Lee looks in, gets his sign, comes set at the belt, and fires home. High and away for ball one. Savoy, the DH tonight, 0 for 4 yesterday against Brewster. Pushes his last 3 games to 0 for 14. He is really struggling at the plate right now, looking to break it against Lee in a 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 2. And Savoy, still a guy that gets the job done for Orleans. A 178 hitter on the season, had a strong start, was 3 for 8 ahead of this 0 for 14 spell. Here's the 2-0. Crushed into center field on a line. Going back is Wax, and he's there to make the play. Stolen, or a base hit stolen from Nate Savoy. Put great wood on it, but just hit it straight to Wax.
Absolutely, and you have to feel like it's a vote of confidence. Still hitting fourth despite being in that slump, as you mentioned, Dan, but Kelly Nicholson still trusting him. And it's because of ball-to-bat placement like that. Right there, lines it right to center field. Nice read from Wax. Took a step in, then a step back, got right under it. Even though it was hit on a line, hauls it in, and there's one away.
The lefty Bub Terrell steps in. Lee fires the first pitch. In there for strike one, and Peyton Lee, 4 up, 4 down to start off this game.
Yes, doing very well, getting ahead in counts. That's been big for him. When he's behind, starts to lose hitters, gives up the free pass too much so far in 2026, but dealing so far.
Here's the 0-1. It's in the dirt for ball 1.
In an Orleans lineup that somewhat like Wareham, where they don't produce a ton of runs, but they do generate some offense. They're 6th in the Cape League in batting average as compared to their 9th in runs per game.
1-1. Misses in the dirt near the left toe of Terrell in the lefty batter's box. 2 balls, 1 strike. Terrell, a big, powerful guy, stands at 6'4", 227. Plays his college ball with Auburn. Going against an SEC arm in Peyton Lee. Here's the 2-1. High and away. Ball 3. First time that we've seen a count in this game go to 3 balls for Peyton Lee. It was a 2-1 count to Nate Savoy, the DH, who he got to line out to Jason Wax. Lee takes a deep breath and comes home. Misses inside. First walk of the day is issued to Bub Terrell with 1 down here in the bottom half of the second. First base runner for Orleans.
And how does Peyton Lee respond? Because against Harwich, got the start and didn't give up an earned run across 4 innings of work, but still walked 4 guys. In his previous 2 outings against Catuit, it was 1 inning and 2 walks, and YD, it was 2 innings and 5 walks. So how do you respond? You've given up 1 free pass, but now you have to work around him. Double play ball here from Tyler Harmony could do the trick.
The lefty at the plate in his debut with Orleans, trying to make an impact. First pitch from Lee. Catches the outside part for strike 1. Harmony went to Northeastern this past season where he played in 32 games, started 30. Joined the team halfway through the season and raked a .353 batting average, which led Northeastern, earned him the CAA All-Rookie Team honors. Was also a second-team CAA mention overall. Grounds the 0-1 in front of Nikolai. He fields, throws over to first in time for the first out, or the second out. It's a productive one, though. Moves Terrell over to second on the play, so first runner into scoring position of this game goes to the Firebirds.
Might as well have been a sack bunt there, Dan, and honestly not sure if Tyler Harmony, if he was intentionally bunting, could have laid down a better placed ball. Got it into the infield grass about 5 feet in front of home plate. Nice job by Nikolai, though, to not sit back and wait on it. Went there and attacked. It was one of those that kind of ricocheted right in front of the plate. Might have been a foul ball, but he didn't wait for home plate umpire Jeffrey Merzels. He went right for it, threw down to first, let the umpires call it dead. They never did, and now 2 away.
So with 2 outs, it's Adam Magpok in his first at-bat for Orleans. That name might sound familiar. He started off this 2026 Cape season with Brewster, and now making the move over to Orleans. Bub Terrell at second. Here's the first pitch from Lee. Cut on and missed by Magpok. Returning to play for a guy that he knows very well, Kelly Nicholson, as Magpok went to the same high school that Nicholson currently teaches at. Magpok was never in his classroom, but the two familiar with one another. Here's the pitch. Cut over to the first base side. It's quickly 0-2 on Adam Magpok.
Yeah, Nicholson no longer coaches high school baseball there, but obviously a guy that loves the game that much, well familiar with Adam Magpok, a very talented guy now here with the Firebirds.
Who was the Brewster MVP last season and left the Whitecaps early into this year. Here's the 0-2. Cut on and missed for strike 3. Peyton Lee works around the 1-out single issued to Bub Terrell. Posts another 0 after 2 innings of play here at Eldridge Park. We have no score. Time to toss things over to the third member of our crew, CeCe Gabriel. CeCe, good evening to you. What's going on?
Oh, thanks, Dan. I was talking to Gatemen manager Ryan Smythe yesterday, and one message stood clear: momentum. He said that baseball is a game of momentum, and it can bring some swings, but it's all about keeping those swings on your side, because more often than not, the team that wins the game is a team that's able to maintain momentum. Paired with that message, he said that hits, scoring runs, wins, and losses are all contagious, and right now this Gatemen team needs to know that they're capable of producing offensively and getting more wins in the win column. This is the mindset that they're entering with tonight, and knowing that the flashes of offense need to turn into more consistent results all 9 innings. Back to you.
Thanks so much, CeCe. Wareham's certainly trying to generate that momentum. Peyton Lee has done a nice job at providing some support defensively so far. Back-to-back zeros. 7-8-9 due up for the Gatemen here in the top half of the third that will try and generate some offense.
Cade Elam, Dylan Dubovic, and Henry DeGiorgio. The final 2, Dubovic and DeGiorgio, hit towards the top of the order yesterday. Didn't get a ton of success. Cade Elam did. He batted, I believe, 9th. Yeah, he batted 9th yesterday. So now batting 7th today after getting a hit. Finding some infield grass, making it tough on the defense. So for this side of the Wareham order, it's been an up and down year. But if you can get a little bit of production, build some momentum when the lineup card turns over, and then you get the 1, 2, 3 guys coming to the plate, is massive. And it starts right now with Cade Elam. How does that bottom half of the order produce today is something I'm certainly monitoring as the day goes on.
He started to find it as of late, back-to-back games with a hit after starting the season. 0 for 15. Makes sense why Ryan Smythe throws him in the order tonight. Still going against the starter, Casey Uper, who has faced the minimum through 2 innings so far. Here's the first pitch from Uper. Breaking ball on the outside part, called a strike. 0-1 on Elam, who yesterday went 1 for 2 against Harwich, a strikeout, and was nailed in the back with 1 hit by pitch. 0-1, misses inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here against the rising sophomore from Louisville, who had a great freshman campaign, batted nearly 300. Hasn't had that sustained success yet. Here with Wareham, 1-1. Chopped over to second base. Magpok fields it on a hop, throws to first in plenty of time. And there's 1 down here in the top half of the third.
And that's exactly what Uper does so well. gets a ton of ground outs, a ton of them. And so far through his first 7 outs, 3 of them have been of the ground out and 2 have been strikeouts. So it's a guy that really works around a lot of guys, pitches to parts of the zone where they don't do a ton of damage, has great control of his pitches.
Last 3 outs have been ground outs. Now Dylan Dubovic at the plate takes a first pitch strike. Uper has been brilliant so far to start this game. Has just faced 7 hitters. Was the same story yesterday for Wareham. Sent the minimum to the plate through the first 4. Here's the 0-1. Just misses bottom part of the zone for ball 1. Yesterday, the right fielder from Miami going 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Batted cleanup. Ryan Smythe bumping him to the 8 hole tonight. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball that tails inside has to shimmy out of the way, and the count goes to 2-1. Wareham just 1 base runner in this game. That came off a 1-out single from Jason Wax in the top half of the first. Uper readies and deals the 2-1. Big cut and a miss. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2-strike count on Dubovic. So now what's the approach? Are you going to wait for your pitch, or are you just going to protect? We saw yesterday a lot of times he was swinging early in counts. Today he's seen a couple of pitches.
Uper hunting his 3rd strikeout. Here's the 2-2. Grounder right back to him. Gloves it. Underhand toss to the bag. And there's 2 outs here in the top half of the 3rd. So far, there's been 8 up. Not 8 down, but 8 down after Uper got Wax in a pickoff. So he's been really successful to start this game.
Yeah, he has, and what he's done is he's pitched to that soft contact like we've mentioned, but he's also gotten ahead in counts. Jason Wax feels like the only guy that he hasn't, and he punched it to the opposite field for a base hit.
Henry DeGiorgio at the plate, the 9-hole hitter at shortstop tonight. Lefty on lefty, first pitch from Uper. It's a fastball upstairs, and DeGiorgio chases it for strike 1.
Yeah, and that hit the only ball so far to leave the infield for the Gatemen. All the other ones line out to the shortstop, ground outs or strikeouts.
It's the only hit of this ball game so far. Here's the 0-1. Flared over to short. Gomez picks it on the backhand, throws to first, and he beats DeGiorgio over to the bag. So another 1-2-3 inning for CeCe Uper. He has retired the last 7 hitters. Is on fire to start off this ball game. Bottom half of the 3rd coming up. Still no score from Eldridge Park here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Bottom half of the 3rd here at Eldridge Park. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. Adam, we've talked about CeCe Uper plenty on the Orleans side of things, but Peyton Lee has been just as good, has faced just 7 hitters through the first 2, off to his best start of the summer.
And Bub Terrell, the only guy that he allowed on base off the walk, was the only guy that he got to a 3-ball count with. Other than that, working early into counts, getting around the edges of the zone, it's been huge. Now facing an 8-9-1 portion of the order against this Firebirds team.
Jonathan Gomez, Ryan McDougall, and Rowan Kelly set to come to the plate here in the bottom half of the 3rd. It starts with the shortstop Gomez, who steps into the right-handed batter's box. Sun starting to set here at Eldridge Park. Seems like it's going to be a pretty one with a great crowd on hand. Here on a Tuesday night, June 30th, last day of June. First pitch from Lee. Misses outside for ball one. This Cape League season has been flying by. This is game 15 of 40. And it has not been a great start for Wareham, 3-11, but currently just 2 games off a playoff spot. So very much in it early on in the season. 1-0 catches the top part of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And circling back on what you said earlier, Dan, another moment to appreciate the crowd here at Eldridge Park. This is fantastic for a Tuesday night. Just at that, it's absolutely spectacular.
Here's the 1-1. Chopped over to second. Elam Gloves throws to first in plenty of time. A nice play there from the second baseman. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom half of the third. But you mentioned it. This is one of, if not the most historic ballpark in the Cape League, Eldridge Park. And that right field hill is so iconic. All the fans pack that every single night. Makes for a really nice experience here in Orleans.
In every section of this ballpark that you can view or you can view from if you're a fan, has lawn chairs, beach chairs. It's a
First
cool
pitch to the catcher, Ryan McDougall, misses down low, and it's unique. It's not something that you necessarily see at every other ballpark around the Cape. Maybe a little bit of feel of YD where they keep things open down the lines. As the 1-0 hits the top half of the zone for strike 1.
And one last note, Dan, but we got here 2-3 hours before first pitch, and there were so many blankets and chairs and everything already lined up. People got here up to 6 hours before just to stake out their spot.
Got to reserve your spot with this many fans in attendance. 1-1 is high and away. 4 ball 2. McDougall, the lefty, 6'1", 215, rising senior at Dayton. Going against the SEC arm of Peyton Lee, who comes set and delivers. McDougall catches a piece, grounds it to the backstop, and the count goes to 2-2.
Right here, you're facing the 9th hitting McDougall. You've got him in a 2-strike count. I know Lee likes a slider. Maybe a chance to try and force one in at the hands with the fastball.
Here's the 2-2 offering. Shot over to the left side, and it gets down in the shallow part of left field. Apple gets it in quick, but it's a 1-out single for Ryan McDougall. First hit of the ball game for Orleans.
Another good piece of hitting. The 2 hits in this game, one from McDougall on the Orleans side and the other for Wax on the Wareham side, have been great pieces of hitting. Wax got ahead in the count. McDougall saw a few pitches, both just little flare shots, but does enough to get a base runner.
Top of the order with a runner on and 1 down here in the bottom half of the third. Rowan Kelly at the plate. Grounded out over to shortstop to start the game offensively for Orleans. Lee fires, misses. Upper half, as he was looking at Jeff Merzel to give an explanation as to where that one missed. 1 ball, no strikes. Comes set once again. Here's the pitch. Misses down low, a nice block by Nikolai. First time that he's been in a situation where he could be tested here in a 1-1 count. 3 for 17 on catching runners stealing so far this season. Not the best mark. We'll see if Orleans is willing to try it. Here's the pitch. Misses high and away, so Lee struggling with some control here against Kelly. It's a 3-0 count.
And McDougall has attempted 1 stolen base this summer. He was successful. But I'm not sure right now with 1 out in the top of the order coming up, how much you really want to risk running into an out on the base paths.
3-0 is center cut, middle of the zone for a strike. And Orleans as a team, just 18 stolen bases. That's 8th in the Cape League. Wareham with 15. That ranks last. 3-1 count here for Lee to work with against Kelly. Here's the pitch. He misses down low, issues the free pass, and now some danger for Peyton Lee to work around. Here in the bottom half of the third, runners at first and second with 1 down.
And that's why retiring McDougall was so crucial at that point, because if you give up the one-out hit there, it doesn't get any easier. In fact, it gets much, much more challenging. Rowan Kelly, Dominic Cadiz, and Tyler Myatt, while this offense and the numbers might not show it, that's one of the best 1 through 3 in the league. So Kelly gets the free pass, and now Cadiz and Myatt trying to cash in. If you're Peyton Lee, trying to probably douse the bottom of the zone, try and get a ground out, get out of this inning, prevent any damage.
See what he goes to here. Cadiz grounded out over to second in the first against Lee. First pitch of the at-bat, Cadiz checks his swing, goes around on a low breaker from Lee in the dirt. A nice start there. Cadiz has caused plenty of harm this season, a .294 hitter through 14 games with 1 home run that came against these Gatemen at Spillane Field, was a 2-run jack in the top half of the first to put the Firebirds up 2-0 in what was a 6-2 victory. Here's the 0-1 from Lee. It's put on the ground over to third base. Garcia throws over to second. Elam on to first. It's in time. A nice 5-4-3 double play gets Wareham out of this bottom half of the third. And after 3 innings of play here at Eldridge Park, we're tied at 0 on Cape League TV.
Get your merch at the Wareham Gatemen website and click shop to view our latest merch drops. The 2026 Gatemen Kids Clinic registration is live and open. Starting next week, kids will have the chance to be taught by Gatemen coaches and players. For more information, visit the Wareham Gatemen website for dates, times, prices, and opportunities for your kids to have the most memorable week of their summer.
Top of the fourth at Eldridge Park. No score between Wareham and Orleans. With Dan Shalam, I'm Adam Hipsky. Casey Huber back to work on the mound for the Firebirds. He's faced the minimum through 3 frames, has allowed a hit. It was a 1-out single in the first to Jason Wax, and it's back to the top of the order to begin things in the fourth. Righty, lefty, righty. Foster Apple, Jason Wax, and Cohen Nicolai do up. Dan, runs feel like they'll be at a premium this evening here in Orleans.
Certainly, 2 guys dealing right now. Peyton Lee getting out of the 2 runners on, bottom half of the third jam with 1 out, thanks to his defense. A nice 5-4-3 double play to clear things off. And on the other side of things, Uper has been dominating. 3 innings so far has just faced the minimum. This is very similar to what happened last night to Wareham, where they sent the minimum to the plate through the first 4 innings against Jason Krieger, managed just 2 hits and no runs against him.
Foster Apple here in the on-deck circle, seeing a couple of pitches from Casey Uper. Wareham at 3-11 on a 3-game losing skid. Orleans, though, just 1 more win at 4-10. And the Gatemen in search of their first victory on the road. They've played 7 away games, 0-7. Final pitch thrown down. Uper tosses the rosin bag next to his left hip. Gets atop the mound. Ready to begin things here in the top of the fourth. Left on right, first pitch. Breaking ball, called a strike. 0-1. And for Uper, it is a 4-pitch mix, Dan, but it's really fastball, curveball. Those two combine for about 95% of the pitches that Uper offers.
Throws fastball at 65%.
The 0-1, hit on the ground, left side, and fouled out of play. Apple behind 0-2. Swung at the first pitch to begin this game. He's kind of moved all around this Wareham order. Not the first game that he's batted leadoff. As the 0-2 comes home. High, swing and a miss. Apple down on strikes, and Uper collects his 3rd punch out of the day. There's now 1 down in the top of the fourth.
And the last 5 outs for Uper, ground outs. Before that, back-to-back strikeouts. He's just been having his way with this Wareham lineup, forcing lots of weak contact on the ground and a lot of chases.
Now Jason Wax, the lone gateman, to record a hit, and the lone gateman to even send a ball out of the infield. Left on left, pitch from Uper. Nasty breaking ball, dots the outside corner, a called strike. And when Casey Uper can locate a first pitch breaking ball for a strike, he has a ton of success. Here in an 0-1 count on Wax. Kicks and delivers. Back to the breaking ball. Back to the outside edge. It's another called strike, 0-2.
It just freezes Wax with the slider. There's really nothing he can do. Left on left, so hard.
Much different result, or at least result through the first 2 pitches. The 0-2 misses up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But for Wax, in that first at-bat, got ahead of the count 2-0 before he punched a ground ball opposite field. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Uper winds and delivers and misses outside. Goes to the breaking ball. This time it spikes in the dirt. Count levels at 2-2.
Wax also had the only hit for Wareham last time in that 6-2 loss back at Spillane. Wareham obviously scored 2 runs, but managed just 1 base knock.
Yeah, the Gatemen did not score until the 5th inning. The pitch, well inside, and Jason Wax has worked the count full. Correction, they had yet to record a hit until the 5th inning in that game. They were no hit through 4. Now trying for a much better result this time around. They already have 1 more hit. It did come from Wax. Here in a full count. Uper kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Casey Uper. His 4th strikeout of the day. And there's 2 away in the top of the 4th.
And that was an interesting at-bat because he started it off with back-to-back sliders on the outer half, called for strikes, then missed like way out of the zone with 2 high fastballs and a low breaking ball before coming back and getting the strikeout.
Going to Clyde, digs in now. Left on right with 2 down and a scoreless ball game. First pitch misses outside, 1-0. And it's a Gateman lineup that has struck out 151 times so far this summer. They only trail Falmouth, who entered tonight with 152. Pitch. Spikes in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes now on to Clyde.
9 strikeouts as well yesterday. So really a team that has been struggling to just put the ball in play, put some pressure on the opposing defense.
Bases are clear. 2 away, left on right. Uper fires, it's swung on, and line to left. Myatt takes a few steps to his left and makes the catch at his knees for the 3rd out of the inning. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field, no runners left on base. Through 3.5 at Eldridge Park, no score between Wareham and Orleans.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Bottom of the fourth. No score between Wareham and Orleans with Dan Shalam. I'm Adam Hipsky. Peyton Lee returns to the hill for his fourth inning of work. Danny's done a nice job. He got some help from his defense to finish out the third frame with a 5-4-3 double play.
A nice play with 2 runners on, but before that had really been working well in this game. Those first 2 innings facing just 7 batters. He's been magnificent.
Trying to continue that stretch. Second trip through the order, 3-4-5 due up for the Firebirds. Tyler Myatt, Nate Savoy, and Bub Terrell. Starts with a right-on-left matchup. Lee into the windup. First pitch of the inning is flied into shallow right field. Dubovik drifts back. Now takes a few steps in and makes the catch. The light jog towards the alley. And there is one away. One pitch, all it takes for Peyton Lee to retire Tyler Myatt.
And we talked about this a little bit earlier, but where Lee struggled in the previous starts was losing control and issuing walks. Today he's just pounded the zone and let the defense do the work.
Yeah, Peyton Lee starting to get better as the summer has gone on. A guy that's trending in the opposite direction, Nate Savoy, the designated hitter digging into the right-handed batter's box now. 0 for his last 15. Trying to snap that stretch right now. First pitch. Slider, outer third, a called strike, 0-1. Savoy, out of the transfer portal, has committed to Texas A&M. It'll be his third team in 3 years. The 6-foot, 220-pound rising junior. Lee nods and offers. Swing and a miss. Fastball outside edge, and the count 0-2 on Savoy.
A really nice job of just going after Savoy, a guy who's struggling. 0 for his last 15.
Plays catcher, plays outfield, getting the day off defensively today. And he swings and misses at the 0-2. He's down on 3 strikes, and Nate Savoy now 0 for his last 16. There's 2 away in the bottom of the 4th.
And Lee just taking advantage of him not being disciplined at the plate. Bounced a couple of off-speed pitches for chases in that one. Does a really nice job to get 2 straight outs in this inning.
Trying to work a clean 1-2-3 frame. To do so, he'll have to retire Bub Terrell. Left-handed right fielder out of Auburn. First pitch from Lee. He squares to bunt, pulls back. It spikes in the dirt. Ball 1. Bub Terrell did not have a ton of success against the Gatemen when these two teams met back on June 23rd. Was 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Worked a walk his first time up against Lee, who kicks and fires. Fastball misses up and away. Lee an easy take, now 2-0.
Losing some of that control against the lefty here that he had against the previous batter in Savoy.
2-0, Lee nods. Brings it down to his belt. Called strike, outside corner. Terrell takes 2-1. The right fielder, a 19th round MLB draft selection by the Toronto Blue Jays. Out of high school, was the #1 ranked outfielder in the state of Alabama. Stayed in state, went to Auburn. The pitch, grounded foul right side. Terrell had a chance, a top 20 round pick from the Blue Jays, but trying to kind of polish himself in the college ranks. Finished his sophomore year with Auburn, playing 62 games, started in all 62, hit .290. But improved his batting average by a full 100 points. The pitch from Lee. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts from Peyton Lee. His second and third punch-out of the day, and we're through 4. He keeps it a scoreless ball game. Lee looking for his run support from his offense. In the top half of the 5th, it'll be 4-5-6 due up for the Gatemen. Lira, Clark, and Garcia to swing it when we return on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans. Give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Wareham set to step to the plate. 4-5-6 due up against the starter CeCe Youper. Still trying to score the game's first run. Left on right, Youper deals to Lyra. It misses downstairs, ball one. Lyra, the first baseman from Arizona, 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Levi Clark on deck, Lincoln Garcia in the hole. That would be the minimum for CeCe Youper. Pitch. Flied out of play, trailing well beyond all of the lawn chairs that line the right field side. The count 0-2 on Tony Lyra. Check that 1-1 strike. The pitch. This is low. 2 balls, 1 strike. And for Youper, he's faced the minimum through these first 4 innings. Allowed a hit in the first inning, but picked off Jason Wax. They were trying to become the first leadoff base runner for the Gatemen. Behind 1-2 now after the breaker on the inside corner.
Really nice pitch there, and really kind of an ambitious one against the righty and Lyra to throw the breaker inside.
2-2. Foul tipped in and out of the mid of McDougal. Pounds his fist within that round mid a couple of times. Some frustration. Could have been strike 3.
Certainly should have been strike 3 right there, but Lyra gets a second chance and got to take advantage of it now.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The offering. Grounded on a couple of hops. A charging Harmony, gloves at third, loses it on the transfer. Lyra beats it out. You certainly imagine that'll be an E5 on Tyler Harmony making his debut with the Firebirds.
And that was a tough play. He had to charge and quickly transfer to get across over to first base. Just loses it a little bit, but now Wareham, its first base runner since the first inning, take advantage of the mistake.
And we'll await the official scoring decision, but Tony Lyra's on first. Brings up Levi Clark, the designated hitter out of Tennessee. 0 for 1 today. The pitch. Misses inside. And Dan, we've talked about the key to CeCe Youper has been first pitch strikes. Right there deals the ball to open up the battle with Levi Clark. See how he responds. Left on right, the pitch. Fastball called a strike, and the scoring decision does come in. It's a single for Tony Lyra.
That's surprising to me right there, because I really did think Harmony had him if he was fielding that ball cleanly.
Yeah, it got in the glove. It was on the transfer, too. The pitch. At the bottom rail, a called strike, and Clark immediately out of the right-handed batter's box wants to walk this one off. He was shaking his head at our home plate umpire, Jeffrey Merzel.
That was a strike, and pretty clearly a strike there on the bottom third.
1-2. Youper sets and delivers. Popped up, right side, foul ground. McDougal gets rid of the mask, gives it a look, and watches it fall amongst the fans. Still a 1-2 count. Clark's been solid this summer for the Gatemen. Not as good with runners on, though. Just 2 for 18, batting .111. He's got Tony Lyra on first. Nobody out, top of the 5th. No score between Orleans and Wareham. Youper rocks, waits, and goes to first. Lyra back standing. It's kind of a similar pickoff move on how he got Jason Wax in the first inning.
And Wax was going over to second while Uper was lifting the leg. He thought he was going home, and Uper threw it over to first.
Yeah, Lyra not really a base-stealing threat, but Uper wants to check on him again, and Lyra starts to crawl back to the base.
He's smiling over there.
Yeah,
first.
went low like he wanted to slide, but then ended up just kind of getting down on 2 legs, 1 hand. Played a game of Twister. The pitch, Clark unloads, deep left field. Myatt on the move. It one-hops the wall. Lyra on his way to third. Clark turning for second. The throw goes in. Feet first slide. Not in time. Levi Clark, a double, and the Gatemen are threatening in the top of the 5th. 2 on, 2 in scoring position, and Lincoln Garcia trying to drive him home and give Wareham the game's first run.
Really nice job by Clark. Just waits for his pitch and then unloads when he gets it. Shoots it into the left center field gap. It one-hops off the wall. Now this is situational hitting at its finest. Second and third, nobody out. Lincoln Garcia need a ball to the right side of the infield, lift one into the outfield, and you will be up 1-0.
Yeah, Orleans still playing Garcia straight up. You would imagine the infield to come in here, but instead they stay back. Left on right, 2 on, nobody out. The pitch. Garcia takes. It's the right call outside for ball 1.
And what a pick-me-up this could be for a guy like Lincoln Garcia, who is 0 for 6, with 5 of those being strikeouts.
Uper comes set. Into the windup, he deals. Foul tipped into the mid of McDougal, and the count now 1-1. Garcia grounded out to the shortstop his last time up. That was in the 2nd inning. Second trip through the order for CeCe Uper. Top 5 ERA in the Cape League. Sets, fires. Fouled out of play. Right side. And Garcia now behind 1-2.
What a response from CeCe Uper to start off things. Obviously, still hasn't gotten the out, but after letting up back-to-back hits as it scored officially, seems like he's getting back into his flow.
The pitch. Hit on the ground, up the middle, through for a base hit. 1 run is in. Clark gets the windmill. Play is cut off, and Lincoln Garcia, a 2 RBI single. Wareham strikes first for just the 2nd time this season. It's Gatemen 2-0 in the top of the 5th.
Well, there you go. That's the breakthrough that this entire offense has kind of been waiting for. Just a nice hard-hit ground ball past the mound. It goes right past the second base bag into center field. It's too hard for Kelly to get a play in there at home, and 2 runs come in to score. Wareham taking advantage of that booted ball by Harmony.
And Lincoln Garcia gets his 3rd and 4th RBI of the season. Passes it down the line to Cade Elam. Left on right. First pitch on the way. Fastball misses high, and the count now 1-0. Elam 0 for 1 today with a ground out to the second baseman, Magpok. That was in the 3rd inning. But Uper starting to get knocked around a little bit. He's been very good for Orleans. He's kind of cemented himself as the ace of this staff. But behind 1-0, the pitch. Breaking ball, called a strike outside corner. Uper dials up the curveball to even things up in this count. A ball and a strike on Elam. Still nobody out. Garcia off of first, being held on by Cadiz. Uper shakes off 2 suggestions from McDougal. Now brings it home. Elam grounds it foul. Right at us, Dan.
Dylan Dubovic on deck made a leaping play to try and grab it with his hand. Hops off the fence and get at bat here from Elam so far battling.
Diamond side at Eldridge Park. Slanted down the third baseline right next to the Wareham dugout on deck circle. The pitch. Called strike 3. Rings up Cade Elam. Elam not a fan of the call, but that is the 5th punch out of the day for CeCe Uper, and he finally gets that first out in the 5th.
That's how you respond if you're CeCe Uper, a guy of his caliber. 3 straight base hits, you get the backwards K, and now things become a lot more manageable.
Double play ball could get the Firebirds out of the inning. It would get the Firebirds out of the inning. Left on right, the pitch to Dubovic. Misses outside, ball 1. Left on right with a runner on first. Lincoln Garcia had the 2 RBI single to score the game's first 2 runs. Gatemen lead at 2-0. Still trying to pick up that elusive first win on the road this summer. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball outside, a similar miss. And Dubovic ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes.
Basically the same spot twice right there from Uper, trying to work that outside part of the plate.
Uper in his 5th inning of work. His 60th pitch is on the way home. It's on the bottom rail, a called strike. Now 1 strike, 2 balls. Dubovic grounded out back to the pitcher in the 3rd inning. Garcia inches off the base. The pitch, grounded, right side, a chance for 2 off a couple of hops. Magpok goes to second for 1. The relay not in time. Dubovic beats it out. Magpok tried to go 4-6-3, but it was kind of a slow, high-chopped ball from Dylan Dubovic, and he reaches on a fielder's choice. 2 gone in the 5th.
It was always going to be hard to turn 2 on that ball. A nice job there by Orleans to just get 1.
So Garcia off the base paths, had the 2 RBI single, does his job. Brings home Tony Lira and Levi Clark. Now Henry DeGiorgio steps in the left-handed batter's box, one of just 2 left-handed hitters in this Gatemen lineup today. Runner on the move, the pitch low, the throw down, skips in the dirt, not in time. Magpok couldn't corral it on the bag, and so Dylan Dubovic swipes a base. He's in a scoring position. A base hit from DeGiorgio with 2 outs could certainly make this a 3-0 game.
And McDougal kind of swiped his mask into the air after that. It was a bad throw. Took about 3 hops to get over there. He's 0 for 8 on stolen base attempts this season.
Right now, DeGiorgio and a 1-0 count. The pitch, breaking ball, called a strike at the knees. Good
And
spot from Uper.
Dubovic now tied for first on the Gatemen with 3 stolen bases.
Not a team that tries to swipe a ton of bags. Wax was caught stealing in the first after being picked off. The 1-1, grounded left side. Slow roller, Jonathan Gomez gloves at short, throws on to first. It's in time to retire the side, but not before Wareham puts 2 on the board. It's 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors in the field, and 1 runner left on base. Wareham sends Peyton Lee back to the mound, pitching with some run support for the first time today. When we return, 6-7-8 due up for the Firebirds.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Time for the bottom of the 5th at Eldridge Park. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Firebirds, and Peyton Lee back out on the mound for the Gatemen. Pitching with some run support, Wareham has a 2-0 lead. Lee into the windup. His first pitch of the inning misses low for ball 1. Goes to the slider, and Harmony ahead 1-0. Dan, something that Wareham pitchers haven't had the luxury of doing a ton of this season, pitching with run support. Lee kicks and fires the 1-0 pitch, and it's flied out of play left side.
It's going to be interesting to see how things go for Peyton Lee. This is a Firebirds team that's very used to striking first, had scored first in the previous 8 games. So some pressure definitely in that Orleans dugout.
They don't today after the 2 RBI single from Lincoln Garcia in the top of the 5th. The pitch from Lee misses up and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. That was Lee's 57th pitch of the day. Certainly imagine this would be his last inning of work. Still on his second trip through the order. Right on left. The pitch. Grounded left side. Takes a wicked hop. Gloved by DeGiorgio, and he throws to first in time. Looked like it was going down to his knees, and then it skipped off the lip of the infield grass. DeGiorgio got up, stands tall, gloves at his shoulders, and throws a rifle to first. And Tyler Harmony now 0 for 2 today, 1 gone in the bottom of the 5th.
Gets his college teammate right there. And Tyler Harmony both played at Northeastern this past season, but DeGiorgio has made a couple of nice plays at short the last couple of games.
First pitch to Adam Magpok is cut on and missed. Gets him to fish below the zone, and the count's 0-1. Magpok in his first game with the Firebirds started the season with the Brewster Whitecaps. The pitch, grounded foul right side, skips off the netting of the Firebirds dugout on the first base side. So the count 0-2 on Magpok. A tough out to get, no doubt. 5'10", 170-pound rising senior out of San Diego State. Lee, the 0-2. Flared foul left side. Stays within the park, and the count still no balls, 2 strikes.
It's been really good from Peyton Lee on the cusp of 5 scoreless. Has really seemed in control the entire time that he's been out there. Would be such a huge help to this entire Gatemen bullpen if he can keep this up.
Lee stares in, set at the belt. Nods in agreement with Nikolai. The pitch. Misses high at the letters. Count now 1-2. First ball that Magpok has seen in this trip to the plate. Struck out swinging his first time up. Lee with 3 punch-outs today. The 0-2 grounded foul right side. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Lee's been sequencing his strikes from bottom to top. First was below the zone, second middle, that last one high.
Lee quickly into his windup. Grounded, slow roller to the second baseman Elam, who charged gloves, goes to first in time. Nice play from Kate Elam at second base. And Peyton Lee working a clean 5th inning, 2 up, 2 down.
And for him, 7 in a row retired if he can get Jonathan Gomez the past 6. It's been really good from him, and he's just been letting his defense do all of the work or getting the strikeout himself.
So far today, Orleans hitters, just 1 hit against Lee, 2 walks. Gomez, the right-handed shortstop, 0 for 1 today. First pitch, a slider, tries to bend its way back into the zone, but misses at the knees, and the count 1-0. Right on right. Lee kicks, delivers. This one misses up and in. So Lee has surpassed 65 pitches now. Didn't have as good of a first inning as he would have liked. Needed 17 pitches to retire the side. Casey Uper, the starter for Orleans, did it in half. So the 2-0 is grounded foul, left side.
What I've really liked today, though, from Peyton Lee is that he's gotten into these 2-0 counts a fair share in this game, but every time he's worked back. We haven't seen that in previous starts from him.
2-1 count, bottom of the 5th. 2-0 Gatemen lead. Lee, glove above the belt, brings it down to the waist. Pitch is popped up, right field. Dubovic underneath, on a jog. Into shallow right, makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. No hits, no runs, no errors in the field. Nobody left on base. Through 5 at Eldridge Park. Gatemen have a 2-0 edge.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abbey Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
Top of the sixth, Gatemen leading the Firebirds 2-0. Wareham in search of its first win on the road here in the summer. 0 for 7 so far. But right now, in the driver's seat, so we've hit the top of the sixth. Top of the order, due up for the Gatemen, Foster Apple, Jason Wax, Cohen Nicolai. 1-2-3, righty, lefty, righty. Facing the starter, CeCe Uper, who's back out. And honestly, Dan, comes as a little bit of a surprise to us.
Yeah, I mean, he's thrown a lot of pitches so far in this game. Kind of surprised, especially since he got hit around a little bit in that second inning. Uper up to 64 right now. 44 of those have been strikes, but you can understand it a little bit. The lefty Jason Wax coming to the plate. He's had success against these top three the last time they were at the plate.
Gave up 3 hits in the 5th inning, an infield single to Tony Lira, a double from Levi Clark, and then a single that scored 2 from Lincoln Garcia. It'll be left on right to open things in the top of the 6th. Uper from the windup. Deals a first pitch breaking ball that misses outside, 1-0. It's a curveball that has a ton of break. Behind 1-0, into his windup, the pitch misses outside, goes to the fastball, and now 2 balls, no strikes.
And there is an arm starting to get going in the Orleans bullpen.
So we'll see if this is CeCe Uper's final frame. The pitch, fastball inside, a called strike. Wareham also with some activity in its bullpen. It's Andrew Koshy for the Gatemen. On the way from Uper, it's cut on and missed. Rolls to the backstop, splits between the legs of McDougal. Now Apple having to battle. And a 2-2 count. The lefty out in the pen for the Firebirds is Grant Garman. The pitch. Golfed high in the air on the infield dirt left side. Gomez calls off Harmony, and the shortstop makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Foster Apple batting leadoff, now 0 for 3 today.
And it would be interesting if Kelly Nicholson and the Firebirds go to another lefty. That is what Grant Garman is out there. They clearly have liked what they've seen so far from CeCe Uper to go with another southpaw if he is to come into the game.
And a left-handed hitter steps in now. It's Jason Wax. First pitch. Fastball misses high at the letters. And the count 1-0. And it's kind of interesting, not to say that left-handed pitchers aren't still an advantage for Kelly Nicholson, but Wareham and its lineup that it's constructed, only 2 lefties. Wax swings and pops it out of play behind home plate. Looked like that one's heading for the road. Dodged a couple of cars. Some oncoming traffic. Count 1-1 on Jason Wax. Top of the 6th, 1 away. Gatemen leading at 2-0. The left on left. Uper stares in. Brings it down to the belt, sends it home. It's cut on and missed. Wax behind 1-2. Had a single in the first inning when he was up in the count, 2 balls and no strikes, but this time around he's behind 1-2. Both teams were scoreless for the first 4 innings of this game. Wareham with 2 in the top of the 5th. Pitch from Wax, spikes in the dirt. Curveball that goes about 58 feet from the mound, and the count now even at 2-2.
Nice job from Wax. Had the single off of Uper in the first. Knows what he's seeing here, 3rd time facing him.
2-2. Foul tipped into the mitt of Jason Wax. Ryan McDougal. And now Wax is down on strikes for the 2nd straight time. 2 away in the 6th.
Just not his best at-bat right there. And seeming like Kelly Nicholson just wanted Uper in there to face Wax one more time as he comes out to the mound.
Yeah, we certainly expect it will be Grant Garman. So Uper gets Wax, the left-handed hitter, and Cohen Nicolai will be the next batter that will face an Orleans pitcher, and it is a call to the bullpen. All right, we'll step aside here at Eldridge Park. Gatemen lead it 2-0, and CeCe Uper's day is done. He departs with a 2-0 deficit here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kiernan and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change, and it comes in the top of the sixth with 2 away. CeCe Uper's day is done for the Firebirds. He leaves with no runners on, and he gives way to Grant Garman, Dan Shalam.
He's pitched 4 2/3 so far this season, and he has been really good in that time. Has given up just 2 runs. That came in his first appearance against Falmouth, the 6', 195 man who sports a 3-pitch mix, fastball, slider, changeup. The fastball tops out at 87, so he is not a high-velocity guy, but he's going to beat you with the control. And this past season with Hawaii, 20 appearances with 1 start, a 4.88 ERA in 25 innings pitched.
And trying to get out of this inning unscathed. It's Cohen Nicolai, the right-handed catcher, due up. First batter that Garman will face today. Lefty stares in, gets the sign from McDougal. Comes set, out of the windup. First pitch fastball sails well high of the glove of McDougal off the backstop. And a race between the 2 ball boys, one on the Gatemen side and one on the Firebirds side. Orleans wins that battle. Wareham trying to win the battle on the field. Leading at 2-0, top of the 6th. The pitch. Fastball called strike, bottom of the zone. One and 1 the count. Garman comes set. Winds and fires. Swing and a miss. Nicolai down 1-2. CeCe Uper gets the start. It was his 3rd start of the summer. He goes 5 2/3, allows 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned. Didn't allow a walk today, but struck out 6. Departs in line for the loss, however. The pitch, Nicolai takes outside.
You really couldn't have asked for much more out of Uper. 5 2/3 of 2-run balls should be enough to get you across the line, but Peyton Lee on the other side has just been fantastic. Matched Uper's start, 5 innings of scoreless ball.
Garman, the pitch. Cut on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts from the Wareham hitters, 1 from Uper, 1 from Garman. First call out of the pen for Kelly Nicholson. Does the job to retire the side. Through 5.5 at Eldridge Park. It's 9-1-2 due up for the Firebirds. When we return, here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
At Eldridge Park for the bottom of the sixth with Dan Shalam, I'm Adam Hipsky. Gatemen have a 2-0 lead, and it's in large part due to the success of the starter, Peyton Lee. Goes 5 innings, allows just 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. But Ryan Smythe makes a call to the bullpen. It's an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change. And the first call is Andrew Koshy, the right-hander that has just recently made his commitment out of the transfer portal to South Carolina.
Spent this past season at Maryland, where he had a 5.84 ERA, over 25 appearances, 44 2/3. This his 5th appearance for Wareham so far this summer. Has pitched 3 1/3, a 2.7 ERA. He has been good as of late. Past 2 appearances, he has not let up a run.
He starts his day facing the 9-1-2 hitters. Lefty, lefty, righty. It starts with the catcher Ryan McDougal, 6'1", rising senior out of Dayton. First pitch, fastball, a called strike, bottom rail, 0-1.
Different arm slot here from Koshy. He's more of a kind of a sidearm type of guy and makes it tough for hitters.
Right on left, Koshy sets, fires. Pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. McDougal responsible for the lone hit of the day for the Firebirds against the starter Peyton Lee. He's hitting 9th, but got that production. That single was in the 3rd. The pitch from Koshy, tapped foul. Off the backstop, and the count now 1-2. Koshy gets ahead.
Nice job of just attacking early on here. Not a huge advantage here for a guy that's a submariner to pitch inside to a lefty, but Koshy making it work.
Koshy shakes off a couple of signs from Nikolai. Now sets, delivers. This is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gatemen with a 2-0 lead over the Firebirds. Just the 2nd time in 15 games that Wareham has scored the game's first run. Koshy collects himself, brings it down the hill. Swing and a miss. Gets McDougal on the high fastball, and Koshy's day starts with a punch out. 1 away, bottom of the 6th.
Really nice job there to change the eye levels. You put a couple down in the dirt, 1 outside, and then just come back top of the zone, outer 3rd fastball, get the swing and a miss.
Back to the top of the order for Kelly Nicholson and the Orleans Firebirds. Currently sit at the bottom of the East Division at 4-10. First pitch to Rowan Kelly, misses outside. The left-handed center fielder, 5'10", 185-pound rising junior. 0 for 1 today with a ground out and a walk. Koshy collects himself, and the pitch misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes. So Koshy pitching with the weight of the transfer portal off of his shoulders. Made his first handful of appearances this summer in the portal, fielding calls from college coaches. He makes his pledge to South Carolina. The 2-0 misses outside, and Rowan Kelly's ahead, 3 balls, no strikes. And the Gamecocks made a coaching change in the offseason. They go with Kevin Schnall, who was the skipper at Coastal Carolina, stays in state. The pitch comes home to Kelly. This one a called strike. He stays on the outer 3rd of the plate, but this time paints the corner in the count 3-1.
Nice job of battling back. He's been sticking on that outside part for every single pitch in this at-bat.
3-1. Koshy deals. Similar spot, called strike. Locates the corner. And after being behind 3-0, he's worked the count full against Rowan Kelly, the leadoff man out of UC Santa Barbara. Koshi clutches in his right hand, comes set at the belt, brings it home. Hit up the middle on a couple of hops, gloved by a charging Henry DeGiorgio at shortstop, rifles to first in time, 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the 6th.
Sound baseball from Wareham here throughout the first 5 2/3, trusting the pitcher. Koshi doing a really nice job of battling it all the way back in that count. You get to face the 2-hole man, Dom Cadiz, now with 2 outs.
Cadiz, the rising sophomore out of UCLA. Corner infielder playing first today. Right on right, first righty that Andrew Koshi has faced today, trying to get out and work a clean 1-2-3 frame. Fires a first pitch strike. Fastball inside corner, 0-1. Relieving the starter Peyton Lee, who was spectacular. 5 innings, just 1 hit, no runs. The 0-1 offering. Breaking ball doesn't bend enough. And the count now even, a ball and a strike. Cadiz started 28 games with the Bruins this spring. UCLA, a great season. As the pitch to Cadiz misses low and in. And the count now 2-1. UCLA earned the national #1 overall seed in the tournament. Did get upset in the Los Angeles Regional, however, but Cadiz some valuable experience. Pitch from Koshi. Hit on the ground, comebacker. Koshi, gloves, third base line, turns, fires, and it's into right field. Pulled Lira well off the bag, and Dubovic has to glove, throws it in, and Cadiz takes the easy extra 90 feet onto second. We'll see how it's scored, but it was a tough play from Koshi. I don't think if Dominic Cadiz had practiced a bunt 150 times, could have laid one down in a better spot. It was a check swing, and he just barely gets a piece of it, and the Firebirds have a runner into scoring position with 2 away in the bottom of the 6th.
That was pure from a bunt standpoint, but really that's one where Koshi, you know you're probably not going to make the play. Just eat that one. Don't throw it over to the first and risk the extra 90 feet, because now a dangerous hitter in Tyler Myatt at the plate.
Yeah, Myatt, extremely dangerous. 0 for 2 today, but he was 4 for 4 against Wareham the first time these two teams played. Right on left, the pitch from Koshi with the runner on second. Fastball inside, 1-0.
So it's scored as a single, and then the throw to first as the error on Koshi.
Agree with that. Koshi fielded it. Would have been a tough play to retire Cadiz at first, but didn't need to launch it well over the head of Lira. The 1-0 cut on and missed. And now the count, a ball and a strike. Myatt trying to battle here. 6 foot. Just finished his redshirt sophomore season with Tennessee. Koshi looks back at second, goes home. It's popped up left side, curling out of play. And it's out of the confines of Eldridge Park for strike 2.
Good bounce back here from Koshi. Has gone top of the zone the last 2. Myatt's been there, just a little bit too late.
Tyler Myatt back for his second summer with Orleans. Started in the Appalachian League, moved to the Cape League. It's the 1-2 just outside. Nikolai tried to frame it on the outside corner. Doesn't get the call from home plate umpire Jeffrey Merzel, and the count now level at 2-2.
Koshi just misses at the top half of the zone as the stat cast comes in. Good spot right there.
Koshi set with a runner on second and 2 away. The offering, cut on and missed. Andrew Koshi gets Myatt to wave at a fastball outside, and he retires to the side. Works around a 2-out base runner into scoring position, and his first inning out of the pen is a rather clean one. Orleans still scoreless through 6 innings. It's Wareham with a 2-0 edge here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
We've hit the 7th inning here at Eldridge Park between the Gatemen and the Firebirds. Wareham leading things 2-0 off a 2-run top half of the 5th. As the 4, 5, 6 hitters are due to come up in this inning, Tony Lira, Levi Clark, and Lincoln Garcia going against the lefty, Grant Garman, who came into this game with 2 outs in the top half of the 6th. Struck out Cohen Nicolai to end off the inning. Wareham certainly looking for some more insurance, holding a 2-0 advantage. Searching for that first road win of the season. 0 for 7 up to this point. The right-handed hitting Lira steps into the box. Garman gets his sign, comes set, and we're ready for the top half of the 7th. First pitch is put in play. High pop-up into right field. Terrell coming in, makes the play for out number 1.
And Lira ready to attack there. Singled and scored his last time up, seeing a new arm, and Grant Garman didn't get much of it. It was a tough play for Bub Terrell. Had to make a long run. It wasn't a straight path either. Went right and left and ended up back right. Might have lost it in the lights for a second, but still one away.
Ball was tailing to the left side of Terrell. The right-handed hitting Levi Clark steps in, has a double. That came back in the 5th. Was also the second run across. Puts the first pitch out of play from Garman for strike 1. Clark was at second base in the 5th and then brought home from an RBI single from Lincoln Garcia, who waits on deck. A 2 RBI single that made the game 2-0. Here's the 0-1. High and away for ball 1. Garman out of Hawaii sports a 3-pitch mix with the fastball leading things primarily, topping out at 87 miles an hour. Slider and changeup back things up, but really it's the slider primarily as the secondary pitch. Here's the 1-1. There's the slider. Catches the outer half, and the count goes to 1-2.
Yeah, started to freeze Clark a little bit there. He loaded up, then held it. First time seeing the slider against the reliever Garman after Casey Uper got the start and was really just a fastball curveball guy.
Garman set, comes home. 1-2's popped out of play on the right side. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Levi Clark this season has been a heavy and hard hitter for these Gatemen. The extra base hits have been piling up for him. That was his 4th double of the season back in the top half of the 5th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It pulls McDougal out into the left-handed batter's box. Ball 2. Clark, after the double in the 5th, now has a hit in 4 of the last 5. Did not have one yesterday against Harwich. Went 0 for 3, but he did still reach base with a walk. Trying to get something going here for the Gatemen in the top half of the 7th. 2-2. Fouled behind the plate and out of the park. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes with Levi Clark battling hard in this at-bat. This will be the 7th pitch coming.
Yeah, any 2-strike pitch. Clark doing a nice job of protecting whatever's close to the zone. Doesn't want to go down looking.
Garman puts his glove to his waist and delivers home. Pulls his 2-2 way outside, and the count goes full.
And those are the kinds of adjustments that we haven't seen Wareham hitters make, but today they have. Had a couple of nice pieces of hitting. Lincoln Garcia with the 2 RBI single in the 5th. Levi Clark responsible for that double. Came around to score on from Garcia.
Here's the payoff. Cut on and missed for strike 3 by Clark. 2 outs here in the top half of the 7th. Second strikeout for Grant Garman.
A nice job getting Clark to chase. Goes for the slider. And Clark had worked the count full, got a little eager, wanted it. Maybe not the best pitch to hit, but that's what makes Garmin so good, gets him to wave at a pitch outside.
The righty, Lincoln Garcia, in the box, had the 2 RBI single in the 5th. First pitch to him, misses down low. 4-1. Garmin has retired all 3 hitters that he's faced so far since coming into this game last inning with 2 outs. Garcia ready for the 1-0. Here it is. Off speed, bottom half of the zone, misses outside. The count goes to 2-0. Garcia battling hard, did a nice job in his first at-bat, had a 1-ball, 2-strike count on him, and then shot a ball up the middle to bring home the only 2 runs of this ball game. Here's the 2-0. Garcia smacks it to the right side, out of play, over to the hill in right field where lots of fans are seated. Couple had to dodge that one as it was a bullet off the bat, so much so that it cracked it a little bit, and Garcia walks back to the dugout for a new bat. So he goes to change it out. Garcia with the 2 RBI single in the 5th, now up to 4 runs batted in for Wareham this season, and that tied for second on the team. Garmin ready to deal in a 2-1 count. Here's the pitch, high and away for ball 3. Garmin's been struggling with the control a little bit in this inning, but found it enough against Levi Clark to get a strikeout. Looks to do the same here against Garcia. 3-1. Breaking ball paints the outside corner. Garcia not happy with it, shakes his head in displeasure after the call from home plate umpire Jeff Merzel. And the count is full for back-to-back hitters.
Yeah, didn't like it, but still has to battle. Shake it off, 3-2.
Payoff just misses on the outside part. And Garcia works the 2-out walk. First base runner for Wareham since the 5th.
It doesn't get too overwhelmed. Didn't like the pitch prior, but still lays off. It was a tough take for Garcia, no doubt about it, but holds a swing. And another base runner for the Gatemen.
So now it'll be Cade Elam at the plate. He's at second tonight, 0 for 2. Gets set in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the first pitch. Up and out for ball 1. That's a spot where Garmin has missed a few times in this inning, has struggled with his control, but still retired the first 2 hitters of this inning before issuing the walk to Garcia. Garmin gives a check over on Garcia at first base. Not a stolen base threat. Has just 1 so far on the season on 1 attempt. Elam takes a deep breath, steps back into the box, rocks the bat over his right shoulder. 1-0 offering. Cut on off the mask of the catcher McDougal and back to the screen behind home plate. Counts out 1-1. Elam looking to extend a 2-game hit streak. Has back-to-back games with the base knock after starting the year 0 for 15. Trying to battle here in a 1-1 count. Another look over on first base. Cadiz pulled off the bag a little bit on that one. Had to hop in front of Garcia to field the throw. As Garmin just keeping Garcia close. Orleans did pick off Jason Wax back in the first. That was with the starter, Casey Uper. Garmin toes the slab. Looks home and delivers. Misses high and away for the second time in this at-bat. It counts 2-1.
And Garcia's taking a decent lead off of first, interested if they'll try and steal on McDougal. Uper, the starter for Orleans, had a nice pickoff move on Wax, but the only other time they've tested the catcher's arm, they were successful.
Garmin fires, misses inside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And especially in this situation, 3-1, 2 outs, trying to make something happen.
There is an arm going for Orleans out in the bullpen. Seems to be a righty, would be the first of the game if he is to come in. Still, though, 3-1 to Elam. The pitch high and away, and it's back-to-back base on balls dealt by Grant Garmin. Losing a little bit of his control. There's runners at first and second as the catcher Ryan McDougal goes out to talk things over with Garmin.
And with this game still really within striking distance for Orleans, still just 2-0. Kelly Nicholson goes to one of his higher leverage guys in Garmin, but having a tough time locating the zone right now. Gatemen trying to make him pay.
Nicholson on the top step of the first base dugout. Looks over to his coaching staff, who are seated outside of the dugout near the on-deck area, debating whether or not to pull Garmin, and now Nicholson makes the walk out to the mound. Was giving extra time for the reliever to warm up out there in the bullpen. Still not a signal into right field, but definitely one looming as Nicholson goes to the mound and now points out to the bullpen. So it's an Alyssa Watling intuitive call to the bullpen. Here in the top half of the seventh with Wareham threatening. Lincoln Garcia at second, Kate Elam at first, both reaching by way of the walk with 2 outs. Dylan Dubovic set to come to the plate after the pitching change here on Cape League TV.
Hey Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
With runners on first and second with 2 outs here in the top half of the seventh, Kelly Nicholson and the Firebirds make an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change. It's A.J. Beltre Jr. onto the mound in replacement of Grant Garmin.
Yeah, the two-way guy who has yet to pitch for Orleans this summer does have experience, though. A fastball that's been clocked up to 96 miles per hour. Did not pitch this past spring with San Diego, but in 2025 he did make 5 appearances. 1 start, tossed 6 2/3, pitched to a 6.75 ERA, gave up 5 earned in those 6 2/3, gave up a double and a home run, 8 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts, but primarily a hitter and a good one at that, and there's plenty of family lineage for Beltre. Now trying to pitch his way out of this jam and keep the lead at just 2 for Orleans.
The son of Adrian Beltre, a longtime third baseman with the Texas Rangers. And Beltre Jr., last time that these two teams played was a hitter. He was in the 9 hole for Kelly Nicholson and the Firebirds. He had a double and an RBI single. So helped his team out offensively today, trying to keep this a 2-0 game and get the Firebirds back in the dugout with the Miami man Dylan Dubovic coming to the plate. Garcia at second, Elam at first, both reaching on 2-out walks from Grant Garmin, who leaves the game with an inning pitched, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. His line is open as both the runners aboard he is responsible for. Righty at the plate against the righty, A.J. Beltre Jr. First pitch is high and away for ball 1. Adam talked about it. The fastball goes up to 96 miles per hour, but the control lacking a little bit. That's why he's getting some experience here on the Cape this summer, trying to straighten some of that out and bring down that ERA from this past college season. Here's the 1-0. It misses high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. And just from a Wareham perspective, they're trying to take advantage of this being A.J. Beltre Jr.'s first appearance on the mound this summer in the Cape League, as Wareham could certainly use some insurance. Only up by a couple of runs. Here's the 2-0. Fastball, middle, and Dubovic slaps it out of play on the right field side.
He wanted it. He was ready to attack, and Beltre left him one. Dubovic had the hitter's advantage, maybe wasn't in the position to swing yet to see a strike from Beltre. Then when he did, he went after it, now on a 2-1 count.
Certainly liked the spot. See what he goes to here in a 2-1. Here's the pitch. Cut and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes after the first 2 pitches from Beltre Jr. were balls high and away. Dubovic hitting 2 for 14 with runners in scoring position this season. 3 hits, trying to get the 3rd run across for Wareham. Here in a 2-2 count with 2 on and 2 down. Here's the pitch. It's lined over to the shortstop Magpok. He grabs it, flips over to second. Gomez steps on the bag for the out. A 4-6 putout ends things here in the top half of the 7th. Beltre Jr. comes in, faces one batter, gets one out after 6.5. Here at Eldridge Park, it's Wareham 2 and Orleans nothing, as it's time to stretch here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Bottom half of the 7th, Orleans trailing Wareham 2-0. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. The Firebirds coming to swing it with 4-5-6 due to the plate, still going against the first reliever out of the pen in this game for Wareham in Andrew Koshi. It's Nate Savoy, the DH at the plate, batting from the right-handed side. Koshi ready, deals the first pitch high and away for ball 1. It skips off the glove of Nikolai, goes all the way to the backstop.
Koshi did a nice job ending the threat last inning, stepping in for Peyton Lee, who was great. It's a Wareham bullpen that's been one of its strengths.
Here's the 1-0. Cut and a miss for strike 1. You mentioned Lee, 5 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. That included 2 at-bats against Nate Savoy. He won both of those. Savoy 0 for 2 with a lineout and a strikeout. And Savoy was 0 for 14 coming into this game, now 0 for 16 as someone had their lights on out in left field with the cars facing towards the field. So the headlights becoming a distraction for Jeff Merzell and the rest of the umpiring crew. The lights are off, and Koshi ready, and a 1-1 count. Misses inside. 2 balls and 1 strike, but Savoy has been struggling. Even coming into this game, just a 178 hitter. Seemed like he was starting to pick it up, was 3 for 8 before this 0 for 16 spell. Koshi deals the 2-1, misses down in the dirt, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Koshi did not issue a walk in that 6th, allowed a 2-out single to Dom Cadiz. Nothing came of it, though. He struck out Tyler Myatt to end off the inning. Here's the 3-1. Center cut, called for a strike. And now the count goes full against the cleanup man for the Firebirds. Koshi stares in, takes a breath, gets set, and comes home. Swing and a miss, tipped into the glove of Nikolai, and that is strike 3. Koshi picks up where he left off in the 6th with a strikeout, and there's one down here in the 7th.
Very good job from Andrew Koshi, mixing and matching his pitches, keeping hitters off balance. That's been a key to the Gatemen' success out of the bullpen yesterday. Ethan Bioto did a great job with it. And now today, Andrew Koshi trying to keep this Orleans run total at 0. Great start.
Wareham has not blanked an opposing squad this season. First pitch here to Bub Terrell. Misses down low for ball 1. Terrell, a big guy batting from the left-handed side, 6'4", 225. The junior heading into his next season with Auburn. Here's the 1-0 from Koshi. It runs inside, nearly clips Terrell. He gets out of the way as the ball goes to the backstop. 2 balls and no strikes. Terrell, plenty of power in the bat. A .250 hitter this season. Couple of home runs. Good for 5 RBIs. Also has a double. Orleans needs something to spark this offense. Just 2 hits so far on the evening. Koshi winds and fires. Terrell with a lazy fly ball into shallow left field. Apple coming in, but it'll end up being DiGiorgio to make the play in shallow left, and there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th.
Good communication. Foster Apple could have easily made that play, but DiGiorgio liked his spot, calls off Apple. The 2 don't collide, and the shortstop puts him away for the 2nd out.
3 in a row retired for Koshi. He goes against the lefty Tyler Harmony here with 2 outs. Harmony 2 ground outs today, looking for his first hit with Orleans in his first game. First pitch from Koshi outside for ball 1. Harmony, collegiate teammates this past season with the shortstop for Wareham, Henry DiGiorgio, both playing at Northeastern, but Harmony in and out of the portal, headed to Auburn next season. 1-0, high and away. 2 balls and no strikes. So Harmony leaving DiGiorgio, going to join Bub Terrell and company next season. Koshi gets the sign and delivers. A nice pitch. Middle of the zone, called for a strike. It's 2-1. Koshi looking for back-to-back innings of no-run ball. Wareham obviously is not allowed to run in this game. Delivers his 2-1 pitch. It misses down low, and the count's now 3-1. Back-to-back counts where he's been down 3-1, worked back against Bub Terrell, pushed it full, and then forced a flyout. Trying to do the same thing here against the third baseman, Harmony. Set at the belt, fires, and it's a called strike. Harmony not expecting that.
And it's always tough for a hitter, but right there when you drop the bat and turn down like you're headed for the first base line, it's tough to recenter yourself in the box.
Payoff. Fouled near the dugout on the third base side. We'll do it again at 3-2, and what has been a good battle between Koshi and Harmony. Harmony trying to win it in what will be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Koshi ready, delivers the payoff. Swing and a miss for strike 3. The new South Carolina commit has come in and dealt back-to-back innings. Has put up back-to-back zeros. So after 7, it's 2-0 Wareham. 9-1-2 coming to the plate in the top half of the 8th, starting with Henry DiGiorgio, CeCe Gabriel.
Well, thank you, Dan. Speaking of Henry DiGiorgio, there are many Gatemen that have traveled from all over the country to play in the Cape Cod Baseball League, but the shortstop is playing in his own backyard. The Franklin, Massachusetts native used to watch games all the time on the Cape and told me that for every kid in the Northeast playing baseball, it's a dream to play in the league, and he's excited to play for a team that produces greats like Red Sox outfielder Jarren Duran. He told me that his hard work and the support from his coaches and family made it possible for him to be here, and that he's taking it all in. Back to you.
Duran and Nick Schwischer, some successful outfielders that have come through the ranks here with Wareham. Appreciate your reporting as always, CeCe, throughout this game. As we get you ready for the top half of the 8th here at Eldridge Park, it will be DiGiorgio, Apple, and Wax for Wareham. It's still A.J. Beltre Jr. on the bump for Orleans. Came into the game in the top half of the 7th when there were runners at first and second and 2 out. Got a ground out, looking to keep that same momentum going as his squad is yet to put up a run on offense in what has been a really dominant day pitching-wise from the Wareham bullpen. Adam, you kind of wonder, where does Wareham go from here? Is it Koshi for another inning? Is it a different reliever? Who's in line for a save situation? Some interesting scenarios.
Yeah, Ty Stark has been one of the more high-leverage guys for the Gatemen, hasn't pitched in a couple of days, and you would imagine that for someone that hasn't pitched and in a game where you're leading 2-0, feels like Ryan Smythe might have been saving him. But now with that opportunity, could be today, I certainly think you go with Koshi for the 8th, at least until he shows you that he's taken a step down, still on his first trip through the order as well.
Beltre Jr. ready, fires the first pitch to DiGiorgio. It's bounced in the dirt for ball 1. A lot on the line here for Wareham. 0 for 7 on the road this season on a 3-game losing streak. 2-8 over the last 10. Trying to break a lot of these negative records. 1-0, high and away for ball 2. Going against an Orleans squad that has felt those same growing pains at 4-10 on the year, and a loss would put them at what a win would put Wareham at, 4-11. Beltre Jr. winds, fires, just misses on the outside part. The count goes to 3-0. 2 walks so far in this game have been worked by the Wareham offense, both of them coming in that 7th. Here's the 3-0. Clips the top part of the zone for strike 1. DiGiorgio lost his 3-game hit streak in the last one against Harwich, but did have a walk, so has reached in 4 consecutive. Trying to make that 5 here in a 3-1 count. Beltre Jr. delivers. And DiGiorgio slaps it on the third base side out of play. So the count goes from 3-0 to full.
Yeah, DiGiorgio doing a nice job here as the leadoff guy in this inning. He's batted leadoff a couple of games for Ryan Smythe, giving Foster Apple on deck chance to see plenty of pitches from Beltre still early into his day.
Here's the payoff. Called strike 3 on the upper third. DiGiorgio frozen, and there's 1 down here in the top half of the 8th.
Yeah, but if you're still looking for the silver lining, DiGiorgio did a nice job seeing a couple of different pitches, speeds, locations, gives Foster Apple a much better idea of what he's walking himself into. With 1 out in the 8th.
Top of the order here for Wareham. Foster Apple 0 for 3 today. First pitch from Beltre Jr. is smacked behind the plate and out of play for strike 1. Apple, the only one on this Wareham roster that has played in every game so far this season, this being his 15th. 0-1 pitch is spiked in the dirt for ball 1. Beltre Jr. has tossed 13 pitches, 7 for strikes so far in his outing. His first of this 2026 summer. 1-1 offering. Misses in the left-handed batter's box. The count goes to 2-1. Wareham has not scored since the top half of the 5th. Plated both runs of this game in that inning, and it's been nothing since. Here's the 2-1. Poked out of play on the first base side from Apple. 2 balls and 2 strikes with the bases clear on what has become a cool night here at Eldridge Park in the top half of the 8th. Still lots of fans waiting to see how this one ends. 2-2, spiked in the dirt. And the count goes full. So back-to-back hitters to start off this inning for A.J. Beltre Jr., where he has put the count at 3-2, trying to win another battle. Froze DiGiorgio for the first out and trying to do the same here against Apple. The payoff pitch. Grounded over to the third base side. Harmony smothers, throws across the diamond. It's in time. 2 down off a powerful toss from the third baseman. And now Beltre Jr. just 1 out away from retiring every batter that he's faced in this outing.
I really like Foster Apple's approach right there. Sees a bunch of pitches. Didn't get the pitch that he wanted. To give credit to Beltre, making it tough on Apple, but a ground ball at the third baseman, knew it was going to be a tough play for Harmony to make, but retires him after a strong throw, hustle down the line.
And now it's the left-handed hitting Jason Wax at the plate. Beltre deals a first pitch ball in the dirt. Wax, 1 for 3 today, had the first hit of the ball game for Wareham back in the first. Was picked off over at first base and then 2 strikeouts since. Here's the 1-0. Big cut and a miss for strike 1. Wax has fallen into a mini slump. He is 1 for his last 8 after being 10 for 20. Shows you how far he's come and has really solidified himself at the top of the order. Beltre Jr. ready for the 1-1, comes home, and another cut and a miss where Wax goes down to 1 knee. And now the count's 1-2.
That just shows you what baseball can do. It was a dreadful start to the season for Jason Wax. Then was seeing the ball as a beach ball. Now back 1 for 8.
Beltre Jr. fires. Ground ball over to second base. Magpok is eaten up for a second, throws to first, and gets the out. So it's a 1-2-3, top half of the 8th for Adre Beltre Jr. He's retired every batter that he's faced in this game, that being 4. It's the bottom of the order coming for Orleans in the bottom half of the 8th. Andrew Koshi out there to pitch another inning of relief. 2-0 Wareham here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Bottom half of the 8th, Wareham just needs 6 outs to close this one and get its first road win, with the Gatemen trailing the Firebirds 2-0. Dan Shalam with you alongside Adam Hipsky. Andrew Koshi out there for his 3rd inning of work going against Adam Magpok, who bats from the left side. Koshi's first pitch misses outside for ball 1. This an Orleans offense that has been extremely sluggish in this game. Just 2 hits, 7 zeros so far. 1-0 is spiked down in the dirt, 2-0. Koshi has thrown now 38 pitches. Jake Schweitzer is warming in the bullpen for Wareham. We'll see when Ryan Smythe thinks it's time for a change. Koshi set, fires the 2-0, clips the top part for strike 1. Magpok 0 for 2 in this game, in what is his first game with the Firebirds. Spent the start of this season with Brewster, was the Whitecaps MVP last year, now makes the move over to the Firebirds. The 2-1 pitch fouled off the screen on the third base side. drops right in front of us as we're diamond side next to the dugout for the Gatemen. And the count goes to 2-2. Koshi doing a nice job battling back after being down 2-0. Comes set at the belt. Comes home. Misses outside, and the count goes full. And that's the reason why the pitch count is high for Koshi through just 2 innings of work so far. Has thrown 41 pitches, has gotten himself into a couple of full counts, trying to win this one against Bagpok. Here's the payoff. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Andrew Koshi, starting from the bottom half of the 7th, here to the 8th, and there's 1 down.
A great job from Koshi. That's a tough guy to strike out, to just get out point-blank period with Adam Magpok. He's listed as 5'10", but I don't really even think he's really 5'10". It's a very small strike zone for Magpok, but gets him to swing and miss. A contact guy, and there's 1 away.
The righty, Jonathan Gomez at the plate. First pitch from Koshi, runs in and clips him. Just caught a piece, and now Orleans has a runner on with 1 down, and the tying run steps to the plate in the form of the catcher, Ryan McDougal.
Yeah, McDougal, one of just 2 guys with a hit today for Orleans. And for the Firebirds, and when you get that kind of production from the bottom of your order in a game where it's so close, that's big. That's really big to get your 8th and 9th hitters on the base paths, because right now 1 swing can change this, and when you give it back to the top of your order, give them as many at-bats as possible. That can end up being the difference.
Pitching coach Eric Luxus out and onto the mound, takes the ball from Koshi. It's going to be an Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change here in the bottom half of the 8th after the hit by pitch from Gomez. So, with 1 on, 1 down, and Orleans trailing by 2, Wareham wants a new arm. We'll give you the name and everything else you need to know on the other side here on Cape League TV.
Hey, it's me, Wizzy. Water Whiz is the ultimate vacation. Huge slides, a not-so-lazy river, and more ways to cool off than you can count. Plan ahead and save. Tickets as low as $39.95. Rally your crew and lock in your date.
For a good piece of glass, call Abby, located at 3 Tyler Avenue in East Wareham. Call Abby Glass and Locks about getting a free quote for your windows, doors, locks, and other glass needs.
Hi, this is Stephen Goulston. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because we're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate. 781-344-2420. Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry.
The Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change here in the bottom half of the 8th is Ty Stark in relief of Andrew Koshi. He's tasked with getting, theoretically, the 5-out save.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility. He's pitched 3 times, and he's picked up a decision in 2 of them. His first appearance was a win against Chatham. His last was a save against Falmouth. He pitched the 9th, went 1-2-3, didn't give up a hit, didn't give up a walk, and no strikeouts. Tossed just 8 pitches, 5 were for strikes, and now he enters in a potential situation where a 5-out save could be looming. He's pitched 2 2/3 in each of his first 2 games, so he certainly has the potential to have that extension for the skipper, Ryan Smythe.
And he got the save in Wareham's last win. That was against Falmouth, a 4-2 victory. There's a runner at first. That's Jonathan Gomez after he was hit by a pitch from Andrew Koshi, who leaves the game with 2 innings and 1/3, 1 hit, no runs, 5 strikeouts. He is responsible for Gomez over there at first base. It'll be the lefty Ryan McDougal. He was set to come to the plate, but since Ryan Smythe brought in a lefty in Ty Stark, it's a pinch hitter for Orleans. Here in the bottom half of the 8th, it's number 25, Cale Strickland, the righty, steps into the box. Going against the lefty Stark, Orleans still without a run in this game. Stark ready, fires the first pitch of his outing. It misses for ball 1.
And it's not just McDougal. On deck is Rowan Kelly. He's still out there swinging it, so I can't imagine Kelly Nicholson will relieve him at this point in the game, but another left-handed hitter for the Firebirds.
It was a lefty-lefty stack here at 9-1 for Orleans, so it makes sense from Nicholson. The 1-0 catches the zone for strike one. Strickland, the 5'10", 208-pounder from UNC Charlotte, did play yesterday against Bourne, was 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts, is currently in the midst of an 0 for 8 stretch after going 3 for 3 against Wareham with a pair of RBIs. 1-1. Chop just foul over to the third base side. This would be a big out for Ty Stark after Koshi allowed the hit by pitch. Wareham trying to close this game out, inching closer to that win. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Stark takes a look at first and comes home. Misses down in the dirt. It nearly runs in and clips Strickland. He gets out of the way, though, and the count goes to 2-2.
And if you're Stark, you have to feel like even though that was a bad miss, you at least have Strickland a bit uncomfortable. That pitch well inside, forced him out of the box. Now has to re-step in.
Gomez at first in a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. Popped just behind the plate. Goes into the stands. Some kids run for it. We'll do it again at 2-2. Stark and Strickland battling. He has not had success since that game against the Gatemen and could certainly get back on track here. Stark trying to shut him down. Delivers the 2-2. It's a ground ball over to third base. Garcia throws on to second. Elam over to first. It's a double play. Gets Wareham out of the inning. Brilliant stuff from Ty Stark. A 5-4-3 double play, and that's another 0 for the Gatemen. It's been 8 innings of hitting for Orleans, no runs, and we head to the 9th with the Gatemen in front, 2-0 here on Cape League TV.
Cranberry Federal Credit Union stands apart by combining the heart of a community-driven credit union with the spirit of an educator. We don't just offer banking. We teach, guide, and support every step of the way, ensuring our members gain the confidence and financial stability to thrive. With deep local roots and a commitment to lifelong learning, we're more than a financial institution. We're a partner in your success. Finding a good personal injury attorney is very difficult. If you or your family member have been involved in an accident, hurt at work, suffered a slip and fall, or have been injured due to the negligence of someone else, contact the lawyers at Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. They are experienced trial attorneys who practice in all the courts in the Commonwealth. The firm has been recognized by Best Lawyers in America for outstanding legal representation. Contact Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy Kieran and McNally LLP also has offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkm-law.com. Cranberry Federal Credit Union has been proudly serving the community of Wareham since 1962. Please check out our rates for your borrowing needs. For the parents of children, explore a Cranberry Kids Club account and its 5% annual percentage rate for the first $500 deposited. Cranberry Federal Credit Union. We are harvesting financial success.
Top half of the 9th, Wareham just needing 3 more outs to get its first road win and break this 3-game losing streak. But first, the Gatemen have to bat one more time. 3-4-5 due up, starting with the catcher Cohen Nicolai, still going against the reliever A.J. Beltre Jr. in what will be his 3rd inning of work.
Last chance for Wareham to tack on some insurance. This is who you want, 3-4-5.
Beltre Jr. quick ready, fires, and locates the zone for a strike. Nicolai 0 for 3 in this ball game. His first time playing since the Chatham game where he went 0 for 4. The 0-1 pitch is pulled outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So now Nicolai is 0 for his last 9 as he chops this pitch in front of the plate just foul. The count goes to 1-2. He has not had a hit since he delivered the 3-run home run that put Wareham in the lead against Falmouth in what was that 4-2 victory at home.
Yeah, taking boomer bust to a whole nother level.
1-2. Misses down low.
And I think that's a part of Cohen Nicolai's game that he wants to improve upon, is hitting for average, just finding holes. It's been a lot of extra bases, which is good, but trying to give the knock.
The 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, 4 strike 3. An 0-for-4 evening for Cohen Nicolai with 3 strikeouts. There's one down here in the top half of the 9th.
An uncomfortable swing right there. Never was ahead in the count. Beltre went outside, got him to wave at a pitch that was definitely outside of the zone, and now just one away. Beltre trying to keep this one at an arm's length.
Tony Lira, the first baseman in the right-handed batter's box, ready for the first pitch. Cuts and misses, 4 strike 1. Lira, 1 for 3 today, had a single back in the 5th that prompted Wareham to score those 2 runs. Started things off. Here's the 0-1. It's bounced in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. But those the only scoring in this game. 2 runs in the top half of the 5th. Wareham as a team, just 4 hits, but they've done more than enough to put themselves in a position to win today. 1-1, popped up right side, looping into foul ground, and will go onto the hill in right field. And the count is 1-2 against Lira. There hasn't been any hits in this game since the bottom half of the 6th. Has really turned into a pitcher's duel, and Wareham trying to get his first road win. 1-2 from Beltre. Jr. misses outside, and Wareham on the cusp of a wire-to-wire victory. This would be the first game where they never trailed, have come from behind in the 3 previous victories, or have not been able to come back. 2-2 is grounded over to the third baseman, Harmony. He throws across the diamond. A nice pick over at first by Dom Cadiz. Puts 2 outs on the board here in the 9th.
Beltre's doing a nice job. Like we said, didn't pitch this spring, hasn't been used a ton as an arm for Orleans this summer. But in a game where if you're Kelly Nicholson, you absolutely want him to hold this at 2-0. This isn't a game where you're just using whoever willy-nilly. This is a 4-win Orleans team that's in a 2-run game late.
They got the top of the order coming up, too, in the bottom half of the 9th. Levi Clark at the plate, the DH tonight. Cuts at the first pitch. He did offer at it, tried to hold back his swing, but he goes around 4 strike 1. He delivered the double in the 5th that put runners at 2nd and 3rd with an 0-out before Lincoln Garcia had the 2 RBI single, and that was the last hit of the ball game on the Wareham side of things. The 0-1 from Beltre Jr. is a called strike. Fell out of the glove of McDougal, but Jeff Merzell still liked it, and it's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, so far it's been enough. An excellent day from the Wareham pitching staff, starting with Peyton Lee, who got the start, and continuing.
Ryan Smythe out of the dugout on the third base side. Going next to Levi Clark, talking something over here. Not sure what. It's an 0-2 count, 2 outs in the top half of the 9th, but a quick conversation, and Clark gets back into the righty batter's box.
Yeah, both of them smiling. Feels like Smythe just wanted to make sure Clark was under control. Checked his swing, went at it, now trying to battle.
Here's the 0-2. Popped up into foul ground on the right side. Cadiz giving a look. He's up against the fence, and it goes just over the fence in right field. We'll do it again at 0-2.
And Clark is like you just said, down 0-2. Both of the first 2 pitches were kind of uncomfortable results that he didn't like. Thought it shouldn't have been called a strike. Checked his swing, thought he didn't offer at it. Now just trying to settle down.
The 0-2 once again from Beltre Jr. is put in play this time. High fly ball into right field. Moving over is Terrell. He makes the play on the line for out number 3. So Beltre Jr. has done everything in his power to keep this a 2-0 game. 2 1/3 of no-run ball. The Gatemen seeking their 3rd save of the season. First road win on the other side. Just 3 outs to go here from Eldridge Park on Cape League TV.
Hey, Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A Plus Repair specializes in all repairs, including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome, and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
3 outs to go here at Eldridge Park. Ty Stark still out there looking for the 5-out save against the top of this Orleans Firebirds order. It's Rowan Kelly, Dominic Cadiz, and Tyler Myatt as they look to mount this 2-run comeback to keep this game going. Stark in a familiar position, closed out Wareham's last game, got the save. He also had a 2-run lead in that one as the Gatemen took down the Commodores 4-2. Kelly into the left-handed batter's box, and Stark ready, delivers the first pitch high and away for ball 1.
Nobody you trust more if you're Wareham than Ty Stark right now. He's been absolutely excellent for the Gatemen in each of his appearances. Trying to continue that trend here today.
Glove to the face. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Misses at the bottom rail. 2 balls, no strikes. This Eldridge Park crowd trying to will the Firebirds to a rally here in the bottom half of the 9th, and Wareham still searching for that elusive first road win. Stark ready, comes home. Misses outside, and that's 3 straight balls from Ty Stark to start off the bottom half of the 9th.
And sometimes you see with closers when asked to go longer for a 4-out or potential 5-out save, this becomes an issue, but Stark used with this kind of length.
Stark delivers the 3-0 and misses way outside. It's a 4-pitch walk to the leadoff man, Rowan Kelly, to start things here to the 9th, and the tying run is to the plate in the form of Dom Cadiz.
Yeah, that's a free pass. That's about as free as it gets. Rowan Kelly, 4 pitches. None of the 4 were super competitive either, and that's a left-handed hitter as well. So Stark kind of wastes that advantage in a lefty-lefty matchup, and now a very dangerous right-handed Dominic Cadiz.
Had a 2-run home run against Wareham in the first inning of the 6-2 win for the Firebirds at Spillane, trying to do the same thing again here. Stark ready and fires the first pitch. It misses down in the dirt. 5 straight balls from Ty Stark here in the bottom half of the 9th. Cadiz is responsible for 1 of the 2 hits for Orleans in this game. That came back in the bottom half of the 6th and was the last base hit overall in this game. 1-0 going over to second is Kelly. The pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 1, but it was foul. It was tipped off the bat of Cadiz, went into the glove of Nicolai for a second before it dropped out, and now going back to first is Kelly. That would have been a big stolen base there for the Firebirds. Instead, it counts 1-1. And Stark definitely going to take more of a look now on Kelly. Comes home with the 1-1. It runs inside as Cadiz twists out of the way. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, that one was very inside. You could see it blow past Cadiz. Almost felt like it, very, very nearly got a piece of him.
Stark battling against Cadiz. 294 hitter. But first, we'll give a look over at first. Tosses to Lyra. Kelly back to the bag and plenty of time. Cadiz 8 RBIs this season, as we have more headlights being turned on out in right field as the PA announcer tells the cars to turn them off because the cars face inwards here at Eldridge Park into right and left field. So when the cars are turned on, the lights point onto the field, and we are not allowed to resume play until all the cars turn off the headlights. So if you're trying to leave the ballpark early, you are holding up play as we still have headlights on in right field. Two now.
Confidently say that I have not seen this before.
I'm not really sure how it affects the play, if I'm being honest with you. But we've got both headlights now off, and we are allowed to resume. 2 balls and 1 strike here against Dom Cadiz in the bottom half of the 9th with Kelly at first. And Wareham leading this game 2-0. Stark nods his head, comes set. Fires. Ball is smacked to the left side, just goes foul. That had extra bases written all over it for Dom Cadiz, but the count's 2-2.
Yeah, now if you're Stark, you catch a break. It's a 2-strike count. Try and force a weak ground out. Give your best swing and miss stuff for Cadiz, but don't want to give him anything middle or in.
Tensions high here at Eldridge Park. Ty Stark looking for the first out here in the bottom half of the 9th. But once again, we'll throw over to Lyra at first. Kelly back to the bag as we prolong this 2-2 pitch. Have just been 4 pitches in this at-bat. This will be the 5th. Stark looks in, shakes off a couple of signs, now gets one that he likes. Set at the belt, comes home. Misses inside. The Wareham dugout not happy with that call, making lots of noise after that one. But the count goes full.
Cadiz with a hit this year with a full count. 1 for 5 in these situations.
This a big one. Stark ready. Here is the payoff pitch, but once again, lifts the left leg, or lifts the right leg, and throws over to first to keep Kelly nearby. Had a stolen base already in this inning, but a foul ball sent him back to first. He was in there safely, though. Got a great jump. We'll see if he goes again. Here on the payoff. Pitch is nubbed into shallow right field. Elam goes back a couple of steps, makes the play on the grass, and there's one down here in the bottom of the 9th.
If you're Cadiz, obviously that's not the outcome that you want, a pop out where the runner doesn't advance, but we'll see how well that pays dividends to Tyler Myatt and Nate Savoy seeing that many pitches. And for Ty Stark, a reliever, trying to make a 5-out save, having to deal that many pitches with that kind of stress, having to continuously go back to first, back home, and back to first.
Myatt, the best hitter on this Firebirds squad. A .333 batting average coming into the day. 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch is smacked up the middle and through. That's the first base hit for since the bottom of the 6th for Orleans. Runners at first and second now for the Firebirds with just one down.
And that's definitely the most dangerous hitter in the lineup. And give credit for Henry DeGiorgio, the shortstop, who made a great effort and kept Rowan Kelly halfway between first and second. If DeGiorgio doesn't make that effort, you don't know if it's getting into the outfield or not. And Rowan Kelly could have potentially gone first to third, which takes away that force out at first, second, or third base right now against Nate Savoy.
The pressure builds. Savoy 0 for 3 in this game, 0 for 17. Trying to break that spell in a big spot. First pitch from Stark is in there for strike 1. At second is Kelly. First, Myatt. Kelly reaching on a walk to start off this inning. Myatt at first. Stark has thrown a lot of pitches. That was his 18th. Comes set at the belt before he goes to second to give a look at Kelly. Stark has not been stretched out like this really in a save situation against Falmouth. Came in the 9th and produced a 1-2-3.
in his early outings were when Ryan Smythe was still trying to figure out what pieces he had and where he wanted them to go. Ty Stark, high leverage.
Here's the 0-1. It misses outside, and Nikolai has to get up from his crouch. A nice job to stop that one from going to the backstop. If anything gets by Nikolai, the runners will move up plenty of distance behind home plate.
And Nikolai, not the best arm, has done a nice job keeping balls in front of him.
1 ball and 1 strike here in the bottom half of the 9th. Stark readies, comes home, leaves it in the dirt. Count goes to 2-1 against the righty Savoy, who is on a dreadful stretch right now. Has 2 RBIs on the season, though. Looking for number 3 and looking for Orleans' first run of the ball game. Stark, a big deep breath, fires. The pitch is smacked into deep right field. Going back is Wax. That ball is off the wall. Hitting third is Kelly. He's going to come in. Also hitting third is Mide. He's going to stay there, but coming in to score is Kelly. And we've got a 1-run ball game off a 1-out double from Nate Savoy.
That's big time hitting in that situation if you're Nate Savoy. To deliver that double, and Ty Stark had hands on his knees. He thought that one was over the wall, and extra bases wasn't going to be 2, Dan. It was going to be 4, and Orleans would have walked this game off. So now a potential mound visit looming. Eric Luxus is out of the dugout, and Ty Stark brings the entire infield in. We'll see if Connor Mohan is ready because he got up late. It was kind of an emergency situation. Oh, will we need him? But Ty Stark has really gotten hit around for the first time truly all season.
And Bub Terrell coming to the plate as well, who hit a 440-foot bomb against Hyannis the other day. So much pop in the bat of the 6'4", 230 man from Auburn. A nightmare scenario here for Ty Stark. One's across, and there's runners at second and third here in the bottom half of the 9th. Eric Luxus with a long conversation with Stark out there on the mound. And he is going to stay out there for now until maybe Connor Mohan is ready. But it's Stark's mess to get out of here in the bottom half of the 9th. It's Myatt at third, Savoy at second with just 1 out. Myatt represents the tying run. Savoy is the winning run. Bub Terrell, so powerful. He's 0 for 2 with a walk in this game, and he's ready to unload. Stark comes set with the infield in. First pitch is bounced off Nikolai, and it ends up hitting Terrell before it touches Nikolai. So a hit by pitch from Stark, and the bases are juiced.
All things considered, you might take that because Bub Terrell is a non-factor here. The go-ahead winning run is already on second. All this does is give a force out at any base. In the middle of the infield is going to take a few steps back. If there's a ground ball, a chance to turn 2. Corners still drawn in with 1 away.
So the pressure mounts. The bases are loaded for Ty Harmony in his first game with Orleans. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Could erase all of that and deliver in a huge way. First pitch from Stark misses down low for ball 1.
Yeah, I expect plenty of pitches at the bottom of the zone right now, trying to induce a ground out.
Wareham playing in double play depth. The corners in on the grass. 1 ball, no strikes. Stark fires. Misses down low once again. 2-0. Here to Harmony, who joined Northeastern halfway through this season and became the best player on that team. A .353 batting average, was named the CAA All-Rookie, and also was a second-team All-CAA selection. Trying to deliver here against Ty Stark. 2-0 pitch, misses out and away, and the count goes to 3-0. There is nowhere to put Ty Harmony.
Stark's got to settle down because these misses are not close either. Really uncharacteristic for the left-hander.
So much pressure, left on left in a 3-ball, no strike count with the bases loaded. Stark takes a deep breath and comes home. And it's a called strike, bottom of the zone. Harmony had already started to take off the elbow guard and go down to first, but Stark gets the first strike. It's 3-1.
Second time that Harmony's done that today. Last time, that was in the 7th, and he struck out swinging.
That was a pretty decisive strike, too, at the bottom of the zone as it comes in on the StatCast. 3-1. Bases loaded. Stark catches the bottom part once again as Harmony started to drop down to first. Getting a little bit ambitious there as the count goes full.
Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, can't get fooled again. Jeffrey Merzel not budging.
Stark so close to that second out. Orleans ever so close to tying up this game. Here's the payoff from Stark. It's a ground ball over to Elam at second. He's going to go to first. It's an out, but coming home to score on the play is Myatt, and we're tied at 2.
For Cade Elam, if he wanted the out at first, he was going to have to charge. It seemed like it might have timed up where he could have tagged Terrell and gone to first and tried to get the double play, but Elam had to take a few steps in because Harmony, that was the difference right there. And Ty Stark's day is going to be done. Eric Luxus is out of the dugout. But for Wareham to pitch 8 straight scoreless innings, that's a backbreaker, Dan.
On the play, Savoy goes over to third and Terrell to second. And it's a blown save for Ty Stark. 28 pitches. He allows 2 runs to come home here in the bottom half of the 9th, and Orleans will have a chance to win the game off the reliever Connor Mohan with 2 down here in the bottom half of the 9th. We're tied up at 2 on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Bottom half of the 9th, Alyssa Watling intuitive call to the bullpen. Ty Stark is off after he blew this game in the bottom half of the 9th. Allows 2 runs to come across. Orleans is still threatening to win the game, second and third, with Connor Mohan on to pitch for Wareham, just trying to push this game into extra innings.
Mohan started this summer as a starting pitcher, now getting transferred into a bullpen role. The 6'3", 370-pound righty from Texas Tech, originally out of Burleson, Texas, making his 4th appearance, second out of the pen, an 0-1 record. He's pitched to a 10.13 ERA. It hasn't been a great start, but it doesn't get much higher leverage than this, Dan. The winning run is on the base paths, and he's not far away over there, 90 feet.
Adam Magpok at the plate, batting from the left-handed side. Bub Terrell is at second base. Over at third is Nate Savoy. Connor Mohan is tasked with just getting 1 out to send this game into extra innings. Magpok, a guy that is used to the walk-off, beat Orleans with a walk-off single on August 3rd of last season, now trying to win Orleans the game here in the bottom half of the 9th. Mohan with a deep breath and fires home. First pitch, clips the outside corner for strike 1. Ty Stark had been the best arm for Wareham out of the pen up until this point. Got the save in Wareham's last save scenario, but blows it here, and Mohan just trying to push this one to the 10th. Gets set, and a no ball, 1 strike count. Here's the pitch. Another off speed, middle of the zone, called for a strike, and Mohan can see the light of getting out of this jam now, and a no ball, 2 strike count.
Pitch around. First base is open. You don't want to give a free pass whatsoever to Magpok, but you cannot give him the game-winning base hit right now.
The 0-2 bounced in the dirt, and Nikolai does a brilliant job of backhanding it behind the plate. Doesn't let it go anywhere.
Yeah, that's big. That's
1-2.
Very big. Bottom of the zone, trying to speed up Magpok. Holds the swing.
Mohan with another deep breath. Winds and fires. Off speed misses. Bottom of the zone. The count goes to 2-2.
And I like what he's thinking here. First 3 pitches were more of the 4-seamer at the bottom of the zone. That time, the previous pitch goes low, below the zone. That time goes slider that started bottom rail and tailed below, trying to get Magpok to chase.
Mohan trying to get this game into extra innings. Delivers. And it's a cut and a miss from Magpok. He goes down on strikes. Mohan comes in and strands 2 runners on, but Orleans sends this game into extras. Wareham headed to the 10th inning for the second time this season here at Eldridge Park when we come back on Cape League TV.
Hey Gatemen fans, give it up for a hometown MVP, Harvey Waste and Recycling. Just like the Gatemen clean up on the field, Harvey keeps our communities clean every day. Big hits, clean streets, and reliable service you can count on. Now that's a winning team. Visit elharveynewbedford.com or call 508-995-0544. Harvey New Bedford, keeping Wareham game ready all season long.
Searching for a golf cart, street legal low-speed vehicle, or utility vehicle? Come visit C2 Vehicles in Wareham or online at c2vehicles.com. Trusted across the South Coast, Cape and Island since 1978, C2 Vehicles has the ride for work, play, and everything in between. Broken PS5 or Xbox? A+ Repairs specializes in all repairs including game consoles, computers, smartphones, and tablets. Walk-ins are welcome and most repairs are done in less than an hour. 508-962-2394 or aplusrepairs.net for more info.
Reed Custom Soils, a subsidiary of the AD Makepeace Company, is New England's most experienced precision soil blender. Reed is the leading provider of lightweight planting soil for green roof installation, stabilized stone dust for nature paths and pedestrian walkways, bioretention and rain garden soils, and specialized soils for athletic fields, including your Spillane Field. To learn more, visit reedcustomsoils.com.
Extra innings for the 3rd time in the Cape League season. Wareham has been a part of 2 of them, this being the 2nd, as the Gatemen and the Firebirds are tied at 2 here in the 10th. Adam, Orleans was down to its last gasp in that bottom half of the 9th, plates 2 runs, and now a new reliever on the bump, DC Brown, coming in to try and keep this a 2-2 game for the Firebirds.
6-3 lefty, pitched against Wareham in the first matchup between these 2 sides on the 23rd. Got just 1 out, didn't allow a hit, no runs, but did toss a free pass, dealing with the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Gatemen, with it all hanging in the balance.
So the Alyssa Watling intuitive pitching change is for DC Brown after A.J. Beltre Jr. tosses 2 1/3 of no-run ball with 2 strikeouts. Big credit to him to keep this a 2-0 ball game for as long as possible. R.J. Hamilton comes in as the ghost runner, takes the place of Levi Clark over there at second base. Lincoln Garcia in the right-handed batter's box against the lefty DC Brown here in the top half of the 10th. Hamilton going on the first pitch. Here's the throw down from McDougal, and he is out. An extremely aggressive decision from the Wareham staff results in disaster, and there's 1 down here in the 10th.
Yeah, and if you're the Gatemen, a team that hasn't had a ton of hits lately, try and swipe that extra base, and now everyone's coming together to talk about it right there at third. Hamilton got a good jump. It was a great throw from McDougal, right on the money. It was a laser down the line.
Ryan Smythe is hot right now, giving it to the umpires over there at third base. There is no challenge. There is no instant replay in the Cape League. That call is not going to get overturned. One pitch, one out by way of the caught stealing for McDougal. And that was the first time that he's caught a runner stealing in the Cape season. He was 0 for 8 up to that point.
Yeah, the interesting part there was not waiting to start to feel out DC Brown's timing, potentially to get a better jump.
So now Brown locks back in on Garcia, fires down in the dirt. Makes it a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Here in the top half of the 10th. Just feels like a gut punch for Wareham overall. 1-1. Cut on and miss from Garcia. He is the guy who made this a 2-0 ball game in the top half of the 5th with his 2 RBI single up the middle. But that not enough for Wareham to get across the line after surrendering 2 runs in the bottom half of the 9th, with Ty Stark having the blown save. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, high and away from DC Brown. The count goes to 2-2.
Garcia responsible for the only RBIs of the game on the Wareham side. It's a tough one.
Certainly is. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brown readies, fires, misses outside, and the count goes full. You really thought if Wareham could strike first, have the lead, have the pitching, that they would get this one across the line and win. 8 innings of scoreless ball on the bump, but it wasn't enough. Here's the payoff. Smacked over to second base, a nice play over there by Magpuck. Loves it, throws to first for the second out of this top half of the 10th, and now Wareham staring down the barrel of having to play for a tie with Cade Elam coming to the plate.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that's such a killer is that not only is the base runner off the path for the Gatemen, but it was also the first out. So Lincoln Garcia stepped in as the first hitter of the inning, and a ground out is now the second out. And you're right, Dan, staring down the barrel of it.
Bases are clear for Elam. Batting from the right-handed side. 0 for 2 in this game. First pitch from Brown. Cut on and missed for strike 1. Brown with an overpowering fastball that trips up a lot of these hitters. It comes in at 91, and he throws it 70% of the time. Brown puts the tan glove to his chest. Comes home. Elam rocks the ball into right center field. That is down. Drops right in front of the center fielder, Kelly. Elam holds it first, but Adam, you really go back to that stolen base now by Hamilton. Would have been a 3-2 ball game right there on that hard hit ball.
And hindsight's 20/20, but if Hamilton is in there safely, or even if he stays put at second, the ground ball from Lincoln Garcia would absolutely move him over to third. Then that situation changes things, and you never want to look back on a play like that, but it certainly feels like that one altered the game quite a bit. But now Dylan Dubovic trying to give Wareham the lead.
Still a chance. Dubovic 0 for 3 today in the righty batter's box. First pitch from Brown, spiked in the dirt. Nice block by McDougal. Doesn't allow Elam to go anywhere. Elam now 3 straight games with a hit. Has been starting to find it after starting the season. 0 for 15. Brown and a 1-0 count against Dubovic. Gives a check over on first base. Elam not going anywhere.
And lost amongst all of that, that was the best piece of hitting we've seen from Cade Elam all season long. And right now it might not do anything in the grand scheme, but that's a big play from Cade Elam.
Brown stares him down, comes home. Dubovic just gets a piece, fouls it back to the screen. And the count goes to 1-1. Wareham had an 8-5 lead over Falmouth on the road a couple of games ago. Blew that one in the bottom half of the 9th. And then Falmouth went on to win 11-10 in 10 innings. Brown, another toss over to first base. Elam does not have a stolen bag on the season. As Dubovic steps back into the box, sporting the orange gloves from the Miami Hurricanes, has spent this past season with Miami, trying to deliver here. The 1-1 put in play over to Magpok at second base. Fields cleanly throws to first, and Orleans puts up 3 outs here in this top half of the 10th and posts a 0. The Firebirds will have a chance to walk it off. In the bottom half, we'll have the ghost runner at second, and Connor Mohan trying to get a tie for the Gatemen here on Cape League TV.
Every child deserves the basics. Gifts to Give is making that happen, and you can help. Volunteer, donate, or shop their thrift store Saturdays. Visit giftstogive.org and make a difference today.
The Wareham-based AD Makepeace Company, founded in 1854, is North America's largest cranberry grower and a recognized leader in environmentally responsible real estate development and land stewardship. For 172 years, AD Makepeace Company has supported community events and organizations like your Wareham Gatemen. Visit admakepeace.com to learn more.
If you or a family member have been hurt at work, don't wait for the insurance company to discontinue your benefits or deny you medical treatment. Get an experienced workers' compensation attorney now before it's too late. The lawyers at Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP have been practicing workers' compensation law for many years and are experts in the field of workers' compensation law. Having the advantage of retaining an attorney early on may make all the difference in your case. Know your rights, be prepared, and contact Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP today. The firm is located at 267 Main Street in Wareham. Reddy, Kiernan, and McNally LLP also have offices in New Bedford and Falmouth. Call 508-295-0286 or visit their website at www.rkmlaw.com.
Bottom half of the 10th, Orleans with a chance to walk this ball game off as the home plate umpire Jeff Merzell over to the Wareham dugout, issuing some warnings as Wareham was making a few comments coming into this inning. It's still a 2-2 ball game. Wareham unable to score anything in the top half after R.J. Hamilton started on second. Stoll on the first pitch was thrown out, and then Wareham with nothing else. It'll be Jonathan Gomez, the shortstop, with a chance to walk off the game. Adam Magpok at second as the ghost runner, still going against Connor Mohan as they give a check over on second base on Magpok. I think Orleans is going to be a little bit more cautious after seeing what happened to R.J. Hamilton. Maybe wait a pitch if they're going to do anything, but certainly a prime bunt scenario, just needing one run.
That's the advantage of being the home team here in an extra innings game. All comes down to this.
Lira creeps up very much in on the grass, ready to field the bunt. Mohan fires, bunt is shown, and it's a called strike, even though the pitch was bounced in the dirt.
They didn't pull back soon enough, and Jeffrey Merzell was all over it. Feels like this defense really aligned in that half-inning break. Garcia Lira coming in at the same time. DiGiorgio covering the bag. Perfectly timed the pickoff from Mohan.
0-1 bunt once again shown, and Gomez can't get it down. It falls into the glove of Nikolai, and now the count goes to 0-2.
Such a passive attempt at a bunt right there. The first one you understand, he pulled back just not in time. And on that pitch, he did offer at it, but didn't really put the bat fully out to try and lay it down.
It was off speed, and he missed it. Went into the glove of Nikolai as Mohan steps off. Will be interesting to see if Gomez goes for bunt once again. If he puts it foul, it will be a strikeout. Mohan nods his head. Magpok at second, gets his lead. Here's the 0-2. Misses inside. It was not a bunt from Gomez. Was ready to swing it, and Wareham not liking that call, letting Jeff Merzell, the home plate umpire, hear it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wareham can only play for a tie after putting up a 0 in the top half of the 10th. Mohan fires. The ball is lifted into shallow center field. Going back is DiGiorgio. He makes the play for the first out here in the 10th, and that's a big one.
Great jump. Needed every bit of it, and a nice job from Mohan. Not a great trip to the plate if you're Jonathan Gomez. You get down 2 strikes off of 2 bunt attempts, and neither one you put in play or put down the line. It was a very ugly, ugly trip to the dish if you're Jonathan Gomez, and now it's Ryan McDougall.
Eric Luxus out of the dugout, the pitching coach for Wareham, to talk this over with Connor Mohan. Cale Strickland is the hitter at the plate. It was Ryan McDougall. Strickland came into the game as a pinch hitter in the bottom half of the 8th, grounded into a 5-4-3 double play to end things off in that 8th. Is trying to be the hero here for Orleans. They simply need a base hit to score. Magpok is an extremely speedy guy over there at second base. Won the Brewster MVP Team Award last season because of his stolen base prowess and was with the Whitecaps to start off this season before making the move over here to Orleans to play with Kelly Nicholson. He had 29 stolen bases. That led the Cape League. So a guy that is more than used to flying out there on the bases. And really, all that Strickland needs to do is put one in play. Mohan trying to play for the tie here for Wareham in the bottom half of the 10th. The righty steps into the box. Mohan comes set after the mound visit. Takes a look at Magpok on second. He takes a hop, and Mohan's going to throw back over to Elam at second just to give a check on Magpok, not going anywhere.
And it's interesting because in this situation, if you're the Gatemen, you have to at least consider putting Cale Strickland on. With one out, trying to get a double play ball.
Would bring the leadoff man Rowan Kelly to the plate. Here's the first pitch. Off speed, high and away for ball 1.
And it's one thing if you're pitching to Jonathan Gomez, a guy that was trying to lay down a couple of bunts. That makes sense. But Cale Strickland's not Ryan McDougall either. He's not a typical 9th hitter.
One 1-0 pitch coming. Here it is. It's bounced in the dirt. The count goes to 2-0. First base is open. And Strickland, a guy who has certainly struggled as of late. He is 0 for his last 9. Last time he had hits was a 3-for-3 day against these Gatemen with 2 RBIs and a run. Can get back on the right foot here against Mohan. Lines the ball to the left side. It's smeared by Garcia. Takes a hop, throws to first. It's in time. Going to third on the play is Magpok. But what a play at third by Lincoln Garcia. Puts 2 outs on the board.
Yeah, you take the out right there. Puts 2 away. There was a split second where I think Garcia thought, do I just swallow this, not risk the error, and bring home Magpok? But no, you absolutely make that throw. It was a nice job. Smothered it on a hop. It was a very, very short hop right on top of him. But now it all comes down to Rowan Kelly to give the win. And now they elect to give him the free pass.
Intentionally walking for Dom Cadiz to put the force over there at second base with a ground ball on the infield. But Cadiz, a very powerful hitter who's 1 for 4 in this game and had a 2-run home run against the Gatemen the last time that these two squads played.
Yeah, both hitters skilled. Kelly, a 313 hitter. Cadiz, 294. Guess you elect for the righty-righty matchup.
And guess who had the ball the last time that Cadiz had the home run? It was Connor Mohan. So someone that Cadiz knows very well and has taken yard this season, trying to play the hero with runners at the corners and 2 down here in the bottom half of the 10th, and the game tied at 2. First pitch from Mohan. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Yeah, Cadiz remembers it. Mohan trying to flush it. It's a big spot, but you have to pitch with 2 outs. Forget the runners.
Magpok is at third. He is the winning run. If this game goes to 3 outs, ends in a tie. Mohan ready. Here's the 0-1. Roped to the right side, out of play, and now Mohan is just a pitch away from getting the tie.
And you definitely don't want to get it to Tyler Myatt, but in an 0-2 count with 2 away and the winning run 90 feet away, you pitch around Dom Cadiz 10 times out of 10. Be careful here if you're Connor Mohan. Can't leave anything middle and in against the third baseman.
Runners at the corners. 2 down, bottom half of the 10th. Here's the 0-2. Grounded up the middle. It's over to DeGiorgio. He can't make the play. Magpok in to score, and the Firebirds walk it off. 3-2 the final.
And that's a killer. Keeps it on the infield. DeGiorgio, a diving effort to try and keep it in front of him, and he did that, but there was no play. He wasn't going to second with it. He definitely couldn't have gotten up and gone to first, and that was about as perfectly placed of an infield single as you can get if you're Dom Cadiz, and this losing stretch continues for the Gatemen, now 4 in a row.
Cadiz gets the best of Connor Mohan once again and is the walk-off hero for Orleans here in the bottom half of the 10th. Adam Wareham pitched 8 innings of no-run ball, but still can't close out the game. This one really a backbreaker for the Gatemen.
That's a tough one, and it feels like the 2 extra innings games that the Gatemen lost have felt like 2 that they let slip away. They had the lead in the top of the 10th against Falmouth, and today they had the lead for a large majority of this back half. Connor Mohan did a nice job, and it feels like it's a good piece out of the bullpen, but when you have that runner on second and you're just pitching for a tie, that's a near impossible circumstance and couldn't come through. Almost did. Was in an 0-2 count on Dom Cadiz, but just not enough.
That's baseball. Wareham was just 1 pitch away from getting a tie, but not to be. So the Gatemen fall here in Orleans, 3-2, your final score, as the Gatemen have lost 4 games in a row. Wareham back in action tomorrow at home against the Brewster Whitecaps. That will be a 6 p.m. start. We'll have all your coverage for you here on the Wareham Gatemen YouTube channel and on Cape League TV. But that will do it for